Good evening, Raider Nation. Welcome to Mollenkopf Stadium. Back to balmy temperatures this last weekend in September. Tonight, your 1-3 Warren Harding Raiders coming in off back-to-back road losses to Massillon, and last week a close one, Austin Fitch. Tonight, play host to the Irish of Youngstown Ursuline. Ursuline coming in at 3-1 with an offense that's averaging 35 points a game. Looking forward to a good contest tonight. Tom Bird on hand, as always, with my good friend and partner, Eddie Colbert. And Eddie, Raiders need a win after those last couple weeks. We got some keys to the game we can talk about. What's up for tonight?
Yeah, earlier this week we were talking and came up with some keys to the game for the Raiders as well as Ursuline. First and foremost, for the Harding Raiders, they need to start out, they need to control the line of scrimmage. First play, first whistle, you want to control that line of scrimmage. Second, they want to establish the run early. They found 2 new running backs last week that were able to get some positive yardage with them. That's going to open up a lot of that passing game. The second thing is continue to rely on that sound defensive play that they've got from the defense. Ursuline has the defensive line penetration. They've got to be able to try to get some penetration with just their front four. That's going to free up those linebackers to be able to blitz and keep those safeties and corners able to have protection from the safeties back there. Other than that, ball control. 8 to play 12 drives are going to keep that Harding offense off the field. And fourth, for Ursuline, utilize those middle screens to try to really stop this Raider potent rush. They utilize those middle screens. It's going to freeze those linebackers. It's going to give Ursuline some time and a lot more different, open up that playbook for them.
Opening kickoff, Raiders receive it. Looks like the kick from Ursuline's Dylan Peplowski went out of bounds, so the Raiders are going to start 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line to open up this evening.
Yeah, Raiders really looking to get back off of those 2 losses. As we talked about in that Austintown game, Coach Arnold was able to find a spark in Bryson Powell Jr. as well as Delmar McMillan. Great games on the rushing side. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short. Look for them to establish that running game early to open up Isaiah Taylor late in the game with the passing.
Elijah Taylor with the handoff up the middle of tailback Bryson Powell. Or actually, that looks like that's McMillan, sorry. Number 34, McMillan in there to start with. McMillan picks up about 3, brings up a 2nd down and 7 out to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice change of pace last week for the Raiders against Austintown. They came out, the 2 junior running backs established that running game, looked to open up the what we already know of the great passing game through Isaiah Taylor out there. We look to see a lot more of that offense this week against Ursuline.
This time Elijah Taylor hands off to the up back, Paterno. Paterno's met at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to lose a yard or 2 on that play.
Yeah, Paterno did still get a few carries last week. He was new to the Raider offense this year, but last week we saw him show up big on the defensive side from that linebacker position. So we look to see a lot from him on both sides of the ball this week.
Paterno managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd down and 7. No gain, no loss on the play. And the Raiders come up to the line of scrimmage in an early passing situation. 3rd and long. Taylor slips back into the shotgun formation. He's got 2 receivers to his left and his right. Taylor drops back. He's going to roll out to his left. He's under a lot of pressure, and Taylor's going to go down back at the 30-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 15.
Well, as we talked about in the beginning of the game, and I apologize trying to rush that, still getting kind of some of this together, but the keys to the game, establishing that line of scrimmage. Obviously, Coach Arnold wanted to come out there, establish that run, really take control up front. Unfortunately, not able to do that on the first drive. They're going to bring it, they're going to put this ball off and look to rely on that staunch Raider defense that we've seen all year to get a 3 and out and get the offense back on the field.
Elijah Taylor stays in to do the punting chores. Back deep for the Irish, Terrell Dilworth, number 3. He's going to let this ball roll out of bounds inside the 25, down about the 24-yard line. So not a bad opening punt for Elijah Taylor. Elijah Taylor came in, has been doing the punting all year, and he's gotten better and better each week at that.
Yeah, and a great situation for the Raiders having their quarterback back there at punt return really makes the really makes the opposition think twice about what type of return they're going to put on, knowing that Isaiah's got the ability to either tuck that ball and run or possibly pull up and hit that 5, 7, 10-yard pass for the first down to extend the drive.
Looks like number 5, Shannon Brady in at quarterback. It's like Brady Shannon. Brady Shannon in at quarterback. Hand off up the middle, and nothing there for the running back for Fitch. Gain of about 1 on the yard, bring up a second down and 9.
Yeah, kind of like we talked about in the beginning there. You want to really control this defense of the Raiders. You saw them in a 4-4 look, really just walk that safety up there for a 4th linebacker to kind of disguise that blitz from where it's coming out. Worked out real well for the Raiders that time.
Brady sets up. He's looking out to his left. There's a complete pass out in the backfield. Breaks a tackle. It's a first down for Austintown Fitch. Out across the 40-yard line. The pass complete to number 8, Matthew Reardon. There's a familiar name to Warren fans. As Coach Dan Reardon brings his Reardon back at Ursuline. Brings the Irish in here. Ursuline, a former coach here at Warren G. Harding. First and 10 at the 43-yard line. There's the handoff, Ron at right end. And again, a lot of yards. And that's number 6. DeMarcus McElroy with a big run all the way down to the Harding 20-yard line. Another first down, Youngstown Ursuline.
Yeah, running the sweeps, they're able to get their running back McElroy out there into some open field with some one-on-one tackles. Missed tackle on the sideline led to additional yardage. Ursuline in the hurry up, try to score on their first drive.
First and 10, Ursuline at the Raider 20-yard line. McElroy still behind Brady there at running back. He's got 2 receivers up there on the far side of the field, and Brady looks over there. He hits his man outside of 20, and that looks like
it's ours
again. Number 8, Matt Reardon on the completion. Ball is stripped. It's a fumble. First down, Raiders on the recovery. Raiders have the ball at about their own 5-yard line. We've got a man down on the field on that play. So Ursuline, a couple big plays, getting deep into Raider territory. Forced to cough up the football. Raider defense comes up big down there in the red zone, and the Raiders have it first and 10.
Yeah, like we talked about, this Raider defense has played solid all year, bend but don't break, kept them in a lot of games. You see it here, Ursuline with a positive drive. They've been exploiting us with those, getting their receivers, getting their running backs out in open field in those one-on-one situations, able to force that turnover, get the offense back on the field to spoil that drive for Ursuline. Now, very key for us to, once again, go back to those keys of the game. This isn't new for anybody. You have to establish the line of scrimmage. Once you establish the line of scrimmage, you establish that run game, it opens up your passing game. We all know what Elijah Taylor's able to do. He's a three-year starter. He's put up the numbers. He's got the wide receivers out there, and he's got the backs in the backfield to do it. It's just at this point of the season, as you head into that 6th game, looking into the playoffs, you'd really like to see them start to put together those complete games on the defensive side and the offensive side. They've proven they've got the running backs. They've proven they've got the receivers and the quarterback. It's just putting that complete game together.
And that looks like Amari Burgess, the injured Raider. He's being helped off the field. That's not a good sign. Like to see him come off under his own power, but that's not happening at the moment. So hopefully nothing serious for that young man. Give them a few moments to get Amari off the ball field, and we're going to continue with the ball game. 8:15 to go here in the first quarter. No score yet.
Yeah, Amari, a senior this year. You hate to see an athlete go down anytime, but especially a young kid in his senior year. We all obviously understand the difficulties with the season, that we've had, but, finally getting the opportunity to get out there and play. Hate to see a senior or anybody go down. Hopefully trainers can work him out, and we'll see him back here later in the game.
Elijah Taylor under center as the Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 5-yard line. Paterno and McMillan behind him. And the handoff is to McMillan. McMillan gets some good yardage out around the 13-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and short, about 3 yards. Nice first down play from deep inside Raider territory.
Yeah, McMillan, they got him listed as a 5'9", 165-pound junior. We really saw him last week against Austintown really break out there in those first couple possessions, and that opened up the doors for, Powell, Bryson Powell, another junior. So Harding's never been short on running backs. We see the stables full. Great things to look forward to in the coming years for the Raiders.
And there's a handoff once again to McMillan up the middle, and this time he's met at the line of scrimmage. Looked like the yardage marker moved ahead maybe a half a yard on that play, so it's still 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Tom Ursuline obviously saw video from last week, saw the running game, how well they did last week. They've obviously watched the films and set out to try to stop that. But you still have Elijah Taylor back there that can stretch the field, get those linebackers and those safeties out of the box, push them back 5, 10, 15 yards, open up that running game.
McMillan the deep back. And they hand off once more to McMillan up the middle, and he fights ahead. Looks like he's close to the first down.
Looks like he's going to be a little bit short inside the 20. I don't think
maybe
Coach
a half
Arnold,
a yard, maybe a foot.
I don't know if Coach Arnold and the Raiders are willing a chance at this early. Looks like they're going to send on the punt team.
So the Raiders come up just short on that 3rd down play. That's going to bring out the punting unit once again. And once again, Elijah Taylor will step back to punt. This time, Matt Reardon is back deep for the Irish to receive that punt. He sets up around the Raider 46-yard line. Taylor makes sure his numbers are all right out there. Low snap.
Good hands.
And Elijah gets off a nice punt despite the snap, but it gets out of bounds. We'll see where they spot that.
All in all, looks like they're going to put that 38-yard line for everything that consisted there. Low snap. Elijah Taylor with the good hands back there. Didn't get himself flustered. Was able to get off a punt. He's going to give Ursuline good field position, but he could have been a lot better. Once again, going to look for this Raider defense to step up big and try to get a stop here.
So Ursuline begins their 2nd possession of the ball game inside Raider territory at the 38-yard line.
Similar formation that you saw Austintown running with last week with those trips to the right. Let's see if they try to do something to the left.
Brady with the handoff up the middle. That looked like number 21, Dante Walker on that carry. Picks up about 3, 2nd down and 7.
Once again, they got these trips left. Looks like they got one-on-one to the left side, but they're going to stay on the ground.
And another handoff up the middle, this time once again to Walker. Walker picks up 4 or 5, gets down to about the 32-yard line. 33-yard line, brings up a 3rd down and 2. And a quick snap. Ursuline trying to get a goal. Walker gets the 1st down. Walker into the secondary. And Dante Walker's going to take it in from about 33 yards out. And Ursuline goes on the board first 6-0.
That all had to do with that hurry-up offense. You saw Harding at the end try to get their 11th player on the field. Defense wasn't in position to make a stop. By the time somebody got a hand on him, he was already 5-6 yards upfield. A little bit of speed, a little bit of strength. He was off to the races. Ursuline on the board early, 6-0.
And it looks like number 8, Matt Reardon, in to attempt the extra point.
I like it. You could get it, I think.
Fake.
And that was a fake. Snap directly to Reardon. Reardon trying for the corner of the end zone. Gets
Nope.
the pass off.
Nope.
No good. So the extra point, the 2-point trickery fails, and Ursuline stays on top 6-0 with 5:23 to go in the first quarter.
Interesting to see Ursuline pull out the obvious fake field goal attempt, or excuse me, extra point attempt there. It's going to put them up 6-0. We've seen, throughout all the games that we've broadcast, missing that extra point can easily come back to haunt you later on in the game, especially when you start going for 2 in order to try to make up for those missed extra points, just put you down even further. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt them. But Ursuline, good team this year, coming off some big wins, 3-1. I believe their only loss is to Austintown. They took a convincing defeat to Austintown. So Ursuline obviously looking to prove something here with wins against Cheney and wins against East. They'd love to put another Valley victory in their pocket tonight here against the Warren Harding Raiders.
Certified athletic trainers like the ones here tonight keep athletes healthy and help injured players return to competition safely. Trust the pediatric experts at Akron Children's Hospital.
Bryson Powell and Marquand Brown are the deep return men for Warren Harding.
Number 33, Dylan
Dylan Peplowski back on to do the kicking for the Irish. 5:23 to go in this first quarter, and Ursuline fresh off a 33-yard touchdown run by Dante Walker. Find themselves with a 6-0 lead over Warren Harding.
Coach Arnold, 9 years here, obviously a veteran coach. He's seen a lot of different scenarios. I don't think anything changes. You know, you still go back to your basics. You still go back to establishing that line of scrimmage, establishing that run game. They've got all the weapons that they need, whether it be at wide receiver, running back, obviously at quarterback. Offensive line has to make a decision. Football is a very simple game. Beat the man in front of you. You beat the man in front of you, you set the tone.
And this time, Peplowski's kick stays in bounds. It's taken by Marquand Brown inside the 15. And Marquand Brown is going to be hauled down. I think he got out past the 20 before they dragged him down. They're going to spot him out around the 25-yard line. And that's where the Raiders will take over. About a 13-yard return there for Marquand Brown. Raiders 3 and out on their first possession. Picked up some positive yardage, but then trying to convert the third down play. They were, actually Raiders have had 2 punts, couple 3 and outs. I don't think they've had a first down quite yet. McMillan deep in the backfield. And this time Taylor keeps it. He rolls out, looking for someone to throw to. He's got Paterno. Paterno's got some running room. Paterno with a first down all the way out across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, nice read there. I think the coaches up top saw Ursuline in those first 2 possessions getting very aggressive with their linebackers there. Let them come in. Elijah was able to find that running back out of the backfield there for a nice gain. Gives them their first down of the game.
And finally, the Raiders get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, out to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. And again, the Raiders staying in that running formation, and this time the handoff is to, looks like Bryson Powell this time. Powell's got some running room around the left end, and Powell picks up another Raider first down, all the way down to the Ursuline 43-yard line.
I like what I see from Bryson Powell. They got him listed at 5'6", 140. You didn't see a juke. You didn't see him try to step out of bounds. He got his yards. He lowered his shoulders, fell forward for additional 2, 3, 4 yards. Exactly what you want to see out of a junior running back.
And the Raiders off back-to-back first down plays. And this time the handoff is to the up man. Paterno pulls his way ahead for another Raider first down.
Yeah, you saw a lot of that last week. Paterno got a lot of carries early on in the year. The coaching staff decided to go a whole nother way with this offense, specifically in the backfield. But Paterno still getting his carries. You saw a lot of him playing fullback last week. He's got power, got some speed. If he beats that linebacker, it's off to the races.
And that's another junior in that backfield too, Eddie, for next year at 6'1", 200 pounds. And once again to Powell. This time Powell's met behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a couple on that play.
Yeah, saw a lot of penetration there. Saw a lot of white jerseys getting into the backfield. And, I mean, that's one of the keys of the game if you're running that traditional 4-3 defense and you're able to get penetration with your front four, that just opens it up for your defense. Those linebackers can sit back. The corners can sit back. Front, you have to establish that line. Offensive line has to take this personally. You have to beat the man in front of you.
Loss of about 3 on that play brings up a 2nd down and 13. Taylor slips back into that shotgun formation, drops straight back, looking downfield. He gets a little screen out there. That ball gets knocked down, incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 13. He was looking for Bryson Powell on that over-the-middle screen pass.
Yeah, Ursuline got fooled by that play a couple times, but it looked like that time they were in a nickel defense. Threw out an additional corner there. They were kind of waiting back in a zone-type base, and 100% ready for that middle screen there. Went back to the well maybe a couple too many times here early in the first quarter.
Brings up a 3rd down and long down here in Ursuline territory. Raiders are at the Ursuline 36-yard line. Once again, Taylor steps back. He's in that shotgun. He's got Bryson Powell over to his right. Taylor looking over to the left. Again, Taylor under a lot of pressure. Gets out of the pocket. And Taylor is brought down all the way back at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like just from the base there, they just rushed those 4. He was able to get good pressure. Looks like, well, no, maybe they brought 5. They did bring a blitz in there against Elijah Taylor. He stepped up in the pocket, but just too much pressure in his face. Tried to roll out to his right side. Remember, Elijah Taylor is a left-hander. Put him in a bad position. Great stand by the Ursuline defense. Looks like Harding's going to have to tighten up the offense.
And another low snap. Taylor gets it off. That ball's going to be fielded about the 12-yard line. And there's some good coverage by that punt team. That's going to drop Reardon back there at the 12-yard line, where Ursuline will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, great open field tackle there by the young man. Came down low, punt, didn't have a lot of time to react to it. Could have went for a lot of yards. Great open field tackle there. Going to put them deep inside their 20. This is where you want to see your defense really pin back, get yourself a 3 and out. Some good field position and start to get this offense on track.
We are down to 2:06 here in this first quarter. Ursuline on top right now, 6-0. Brady in that shotgun. Running back bounces outside, gets on around that right end a little bit, but he's hit hard at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 2.
I really like to see how that defense converged on the ball there. Little hit inside, dipped it outside. Defensive end did his job, stayed home, forced everything back. Defense was there to clean it up for him.
McElroy, the ball carrier on that play, and he stays in there. He sets up to Brady's left. And there's a handoff around the left end. Number 3, Dilworth on that carry. Gets it out to almost a 1st down. Brings up a 3rd down and 1 at about the 21-yard line.
Ursuline and Dilworth with their version of the jet sweep there out to the left. Harding defense home waiting for it. It's going to bring up this crucial 3rd and 1.
Ursuline stays in that shotgun on 3rd and short, and there's a handoff up the middle of McElroy. McElroy's met the line of scrimmage. That's going to be close. This is all depending on the spot down there.
Right foot, left foot. Ursuline is signaling 1st down, and the officials 4th down it looks like they're calling. So he is a little bit short. Is Ursuline going to go for it?
4th and short.
Looks like they're in that hurry up.
Ursuline staying in there, trying to go 4 deep, taking a gamble here.
Pinch everybody down, send them. Watch for that middle screen. Back in shotgun.
They just try to get Harding to jump before they bring the punter out. They're just trying to get the defense to jump down there, it looks like, Ed.
Yep, there's the timeout. Good discipline by the Raider defense.
Trying to get that Harding defense to jump. That looks like the punt team is coming in now, so Ursuline will indeed get a punt off here, try to get a punt off. 26 seconds to go in this first quarter. Harding looks to get the ball back in pretty good field position here at the end of the first quarter. Start of the second coming up.
Obviously, the Harding players and coaching staff need to be cognizant of the fake field goal, the fake extra point that we saw early here. We know Ursuline's got some tricks up their sleeve, but 4th and 1 early here with in the first half, coming to the end. Not sure that Coach Reardon's going to want to risk putting Harding back in the game here with a failed fake punt attempt, but it's just like anything else when it goes to the punt game. You fake a punt and you don't get it, it's a mistake. You fake a punt and you get it, you're a genius. So we'll see what the coach has dialed up here.
And he is going to keep that and come upfield with it. He's got some room. That's a first down for Reardon and a lot more all the way out to the 35-yard line. Reardon in the punt and keeps it around the end.
I was surprised that they would do that out of a fake punt. I think Ursuline early on here in the first half has shown the ability to run the ball. I would have assumed them to come out in a traditional formation, man-to-man, but lined up that fake punt, worked out for them. We're on the right-hand side.
Brady with the handoff to McElroy. McElroy is met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Ran right into big Sam Waldman down there on that one.
Sam Walton, great play right there in the middle. Sam Walton, big man in the middle there. As I said before, he needs to be a problem. He needs to draw that double team. He needs to be a disruption up on the front line. A lot of it starts with him. If he can disrupt that center snap, if he can draw that double team, that's going to free up a lot of the other defenders for that Harding defense to be successful tonight.
You go back to that fake punt, Ed. You got to wonder. I'm sure Ursuline saw the tape from last week's game, and Fitch ran a number of those trick plays. Fake punt, fake extra point. Fitch had a onside kick in the second half at a kind of an unusual moment. So you got to wonder if Ursuline's thinking that Harding may be susceptible to those types of things.
Yeah, it's football is a game of 3 different divisions. You have offense, you have defense, which we probably spend 95% of practice on, but there is a third part of football, and that is special teams. Special teams is not just establishing field position, but when you've got these trick plays, you have to be aware. You've got to be on your toes. You can't just expect them to kick the ball away, especially on situations like that. When you find yourself with these 4th and shorts, and your offensive line has proven the ability to control the line of scrimmage. That's why we go back. I used it as a key to the game for Harding, but it's a key to the game from either side. You start to control that line of scrimmage, it opens up the playbook. If you're one-dimensional, very difficult to win a game one-dimensional. You control the line of scrimmage, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that game.
2nd down and 9 play, and
got him.
Looking downfield, he's got Reardon behind the secondary. And Reardon looks like he's going to get knocked down about the 10-yard line. Looks like maybe Bryson Powell caught up to him down there to save a touchdown, and Powell gets up kind of slow from that play. Fitch on 2nd down and 9 from their own 36-yard line to open up. Sorry, not Fitch, but just talking about Fitch. The Irish for 2nd down and 9, opening up that second quarter with a big pass play.
And no time to recover. They're straight to the line of scrimmage.
And nice defensive play in the backfield. Bring up a 2nd down and goal.
I couldn't tell if he was in the slot position or he slid out from the backfield, but obviously not picked up by one of the safeties or the linebackers. Wide open during the middle of the seam. Quarterback had the time to find him. Perfect pass. Big play for Ursuline. Pins Harding back inside their 10-yard line. This is where we're going to look for that bend but don't break defense.
Brady with 3 receivers out to his right. He's got McElroy in the background. Brady looking over that way. He's got a man all by himself out there. And that is Reardon once again. Touchdown, Ursuline. And the Irish go on top 12-0 with 11:06 to play in the half.
I'm not sure if that was a zone coverage or a one-on-one that he was playing back on, but gave that receiver too much room down inside the 10-yard line, put himself in a difficult position to where he had to make a one-on-one tackle in the open field. All it took was a couple moves to the corner of the end zone, and just like that early, Ursuline is up 12-0.
Ursuline off the failed 2-point attempt on their first touchdown, trying to get both those points back here.
Watch the center, he's eligible.
And that's going to go down for a loss. Try to get number 3, Terrell Dilworth, in there behind the offensive line, which is lined up way over to the right. So another failed two-point conversion, and Ursuline
Raiders 0.
on top of Harding 12-0 with just over 11 minutes to go in the half.
Trumbull Regional Medical Center
They're
in
starting
Hillside
to,
Rehabilitation
you know, got a minute into the second quarter, as we talked about what Harding was able to establish last week, that really moved that offense was the run game. Thus far, I would not go away from the run game. They've had a lot of positive plays. They just need that good mix of run versus pass. Ursuline is obviously focused on that run game. Really look for that offensive line to provide some more time for Isaiah Taylor in order to make sure that you can keep this defense honest and not just focusing on the run game. You've got some great wide receivers out there. It's just giving Elijah Taylor the time to be able to identify those wide receivers and not allow for this Ursuline defense just to focus in, jam that box with 7, 8, 9 players to shut down the run game.
Peplowski back in to do the kicking. And again, Powell and Brown are the deep men for Harding on this kickoff. Peplowski, the left-footed kicker, getting set to put it in play. And this looks like it will be Marquand Brown trying to bring it up the middle. Gets through the first line, gets it out beyond the 25-yard line. So the Raiders will have some decent starting field position to begin.
Be interested to see if maybe the offense come out here with the play action. Ursuline obviously biting on those on a lot of the run plays, knowing what's been successful for Harding in the past. Be interested to see what those linebackers and that safety do with that play action. Something the coaches want to watch up top for later on in the game.
Harding 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. And this time Elijah Taylor sets up in a shotgun. He's got 3 receivers out to his left. And he's looking over the middle and looking for Dorsey on that play.
Yeah, he had the right thought there. Tried to catch him in the middle of that zone. A little too much mustard on that there. Maybe take a little bit off of that. Those are nice little 5, 7-yard gains, almost like long runs, long stretch runs for him.
A guy by the name of Jerry Rice made a living on that type of play.
Oh, going up West Coast offense. And if you got the speed, you could turn that 5, 6-yard slant into a 90-yard touchdown.
2nd down and 10 for the Raiders at the 27. Elijah with the screen pass out to his left, and there's some running room over there. That's a 1st down and a little bit more.
Looks like we got a flag on the field. We'll see what they're going to call holding there. Nice to see that slot back. Fortunately, that's going to come back with a spot penalty. But I like to see that slot back there to the high side, called out that blitz. Elijah Taylor was able to read that, saw that he was going to have him wide open out there, and put it in the hands of one of his playmakers for a big gain. Unfortunately, the hold penalty is going to come back, but from this level, very nice to see that slot identify the blitz. Elijah Taylor able to recognize it, know where the hot man was, able to read it, big gain. Just got to move your feet, quit grabbing, quit pulling. Penalties to kill a drive.
That pass was complete to Amarian Perkins out to the 50, but brought back because of the penalty. Now we have 2nd down and 16, all the way back at the Raider 21-yard line. And Taylor trying to get the delayed draw play up the middle, and Ursuline saw that coming, and that's another loss. That's going to bring up 3rd and way long.
They blitzed the linebacker there. That delayed blitz was the perfect play for the delayed handoff. Going to find Harding in a position of 3rd and 21 here. Really limits the playbook, but you've got athletes on this side of the ball that can get you those big chunks of yards. We'll see what they pull up here for this early 3rd and 21 here, 2nd quarter with a little over 10 minutes left to go.
Loss on that play backs the Raiders up to their 16-yard line, 3rd and 21. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. Harding's going to call timeout and talk this play over, see what they come up with. Again, Ursuline with a 12-0 lead, 10 minutes to play in the half.
Well, Ursuline's come out and they've done what they needed to do. I mean, I talked about in the beginning the keys to the game. Harding's got a very staunch defense. A lot of that is through the blitzing that you see through the linebackers, and one of the keys to stopping that blitz is hitting those pop passes over the middle and really neutralizing those linebackers and keeping those safeties looking forward. You saw one of the big plays that ended up leading to the second score was finding that receiver right down the seam, popped it right over the vacating linebacker, was able to go through a big play. Ursuline's offensive line and their running back and quarterback were able to take care of the rest. So Harding finding themselves here in a 3rd and 21. Not a lot of plays, but they got the playmakers to do it.
Taylor looks over, throws it out to his right. And there's one move. Get a lot of yards back, but that's not going to be enough the first down, but at least that pass complete to Davion Burgess all the way out to the 32-yard line. Not a first down, but at least it gives Harding a little bit more room to punt.
Yeah, that's going to put them in position, 4th and 5, manageable, put them on the other side of the 50 there. Give Ursuline a little longer field, but this is what we talk about. The whole idea when penalties, especially the holding penalties, they kill a drive. 10-yard penalties will kill a drive. You saw a lot of positive things out of the offense there, but just could not overcome that 10-yard holding penalty.
4th down and 5. Taylor to punt. Dilworth for Ursuline back to receive that kick. And Taylor gets off a booming punt.
Nice punt there by Taylor.
That ball down about let's see where he steps it off to.
Looks like they were able to fix the issues with the snap. Elijah had to short hop like a shortstop those first couple snaps, but he was able to get that nice snap, get the nice punt off. Like to see him maybe keep that a little more in field inside the white lines in order to get that bounce for him. But great punt, going to set them back here to their 30-yard line or so. Looking for that defense to step up again.
Brady Shannon brings his offense back out in the field. He's got McElroy over to his right, and the pitch is to McElroy, trying to get around that right corner. And McElroy, that play strung out nicely by that Raider defense.
Looked like the safety came up there to make the stop for a loss there. Defensive end got lost inside on the shuffle, but it looked like the safety was able to come up there, make that stop in the backfield for a loss of 2.
2nd and 12 coming up for the Irish. Back at the Raider 26-yard line.
Four receiver set, 1 safety.
Shannon back to pass, straight back, little dump pass over to McElroy, and McElroy breaks a tackle. McElroy gets it out for a first down around the 40-yard line.
And one of the best ways that you can beat an aggressive defense is through running some of those middle screens, some of those screens to the outside. You take what that defense is doing, and if you can't stop it, you try to use it against them, and that's what you're definitely seeing the Ursuline offense be able to do here tonight.
13-yard pass play, gets the ball out to the Ursuline 39-yard line in the handoff up the middle of McElroy. McElroy falls forward for maybe 2 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and 8.
Tackled by Perkins.
8 minutes to go in this first half with Ursuline on a 12-0 lead. Shannon back to pass once again, looks over near sidelines. He's got Dilworth. Dilworth makes the catch, but covered nicely there for no gain on the play.
Another nice open field tackle there. Had him for a second, but that defense was able to collapse quickly. Looked like they were, once again, DBs were in a zone, able to shed that blocker, get over there, and make a great open field tackle for minimal gain. Going to bring up a crucial 3rd and 7 here.
We gave Dilworth 1 yard on that reception, 3rd and 7. 3 receivers down here on the near sideline. And Shannon looking to the other side, goes long.
Out of bounds.
And that ball's out of bounds. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 7. And it looks like Ursuline will have to turn it over with the punt here. So Raiders going to get another shot at this one.
Looks like that's the junior Bryson Powell over there. What he lacks in size, he makes up in heart and speed. Once again, right there, was able to get his head turned around, able to make a play on the ball. Fortunately for the Raiders, that ball was out of bounds regardless, but Bryson Powell right there. Look for some great things to come from this young man for the rest of this season, as well as going into his senior season in 2021.
Reardon back to punt. Reardon looking again. This time he does get the kickoff. That ball is fielded and fair caught back around the 15-yard line.
Fair catch is called at the 15-yard line.
And it looks like Reardon's pretty much got, looks like they kind of give him the green light to have an option duty once, or if he sees it, he can take off with it. If not, then he's just going to put his foot on it and boot it out of there.
Yeah, you can tell Reardon is, they're giving him kind of almost like on the standard offense, you call that an RPO, that run pass option. They're giving him that. He's doing that soccer style rollout, but you can tell he's obviously reading that defense. If he sees that open, if that punt team, that punt return team, they bail out early, well, he's going to run for that 5-7 yards and extend the drive. 7 minutes left. Big possession for the Raiders here. You want to put something on the board here before you go into halftime.
Raiders first and 10 from their own 15, and they hand off up the middle. And Ursuline signaling a fumble down there. And the referees are signaling Ursuline ball, and that is the last thing that Warren Harding needed right now is to turn the ball over. Fumble on the play. It's going to be Ursuline. First down and 10 at about the 16-yard line of Warren Harding.
That was Junior McMillan. He was introduced to the offense last year, had a big game. Unfortunately, here early, it looks like results in a turnover. Couldn't really tell if that was a result of a hit or if that was a bad exchange between quarterback and running back that are just kind of getting to know each other on the offense here, but nevertheless puts that Raider defense in a bad situation after being able to hold that Ursuline offense to a punt situation. They're going to find themselves inside their 20-yard line.
Shannon back to pass, looking to get it all on one, and he overthrows his receiver just a little bit, so it's going to bring up a second down and 10. They were looking to get the big hit early off that turnover.
One of the easiest things you learn, if you see no safety deep, you got your wide receiver out there, throw him on a post route. He plants that left foot. That ball should already be in the air on the break. Quarterback, receiver had excellent reads. He just, unfortunately for Ursuline, wasn't able to make that pass. Had a step on him, just a little overthrown for the receiver.
Brings up second down and 10 at the Raiders' 16-yard line, and Shannon steps back once more. He's under some pressure, but he breaks out. There's a flag on the play. Shannon gets it inside the 5-yard line, and another flag comes down.
One of the backfields around the area they call holding. The other one out in the middle of the field is the area they call holding or blocking the back, so hopefully this works out for the Raiders. Looks like the initial signal was holding against Ursuline. So we're going to walk that 10 yards off there. Looks like the officials caught the same young man with the same penalty. Once again, we talk about the fact that, you know, how devastating these holding penalties can be, these 10-yard penalties for teams looking for the Raiders to capitalize off it here on this 2nd and 26.
That backs Ursuline up to the 31-yard line. They were down at the 16. Second down and 26 on this play. They got to get down to the 5-yard line. Shannon looking to pass once again, throws over the middle. That pass is complete down to about the 22-yard line. Still going to bring up a third down and long.
Pass is complete to number 3, Terrell Dilworth.
Shannon finds Dilworth down there for the completion.
Yeah, good, nice connection from the quarterback to Dilworth there. Found himself a nice spot in the middle of that zone defense, posting up almost like a basketball player. Got himself a 10, 12-yard gain, brings it to 3rd and 18.
Shannon looking again. Shannon looking into the end zone for Reardon. And a nice play down there. Looked like that was Marquand Brown getting a hand up and knocking that ball down.
Yeah, Marquand Brown, receiver had a couple steps on him, but the quarterback overthrew the ball. He was able to get there, get that left hand in there, knock it down. That's going to bring up a 4th and 18. I'm not sure that Ursuline's got a kicker that they're going to trust from this distance. So it looks like they're going to continue in that hurry up, see if they can get something. Possibly just put Harding in a bad field position. Maybe possibly end up getting lucky and getting the first down.
4th down and 18, and Shannon drops back to pass. He's got Reardon over here in the flats, and Reardon doesn't break that tackle. He goes down about the 20-yard line, and Ursuline's going to turn the ball over to Harding on downs. Big defensive stand for Harding after that turnover.
Yeah, great play by the defense there. Once again, you know, they teach you there's no such thing as a free lunch. Those linemen start coming in, they're not feeling any pressure. That's the uh-oh moment where you want to drop back. Ursuline obviously has recognized the aggressiveness of this Harding defense. They're running screens to the left, right, middle, exploiting all of the open areas that are vacated by those blitzers. That time, Harding stayed back, waited for it, able to make a great play, turnover on downs. That McMillan turnover obviously was a race. You're 6:04. Obviously, definitely need to establish something on this possession.
1st and 10 from the Raider 21-yard line. Taylor's got 3 receivers left. He looks over here for Dom Foster. Foster shakes one tackle, gets out close to a first down. And they're going to give him the first down on that play. Big offensive series for Harding coming up, given that Ursuline's going to receive the second half kickoff, so it becomes extremely important for Harding to put some points on the board right here. 5:50 to go in this first half, and it's a 1st down and 10 out at the 32-yard line. Taylor looks left. He's got a man. Oh, and we can't handle that pass one over there, so it's going to bring him a 2nd down and 10. Trying to get a little screen with some blocking over on that side of the field.
Yeah, I like where they were going there. You saw that bubble screen opening up to the high side there, had a couple blockers out in front of him. Unfortunately, the receiver took his eye off the ball, started looking upfield. First time we've called Dom Foster's name all night a couple plays ago. Big playmaker. Started out the year, I think he had about 300 yards in the first 2 games. Somebody who Elijah Taylor was able to look at as a safety blanket, looked to call his name a lot more tonight.
Taylor looking over the middle. Looks like he's trying to hit Davion Burgess out there. He gets behind him just a little bit. We have a flag down on the far side of the field.
An eligible man down, yeah, it looks like they're signaling an eligible man downfield, but he pointed in the wrong direction.
Looks like Ursuline wants to decline that one. They're going to take the down.
Might have been a mix-up in the huddle. That was a pretty quick pass. Highly unusual to see an offensive lineman be able to get out of that, 2-3 yard zone the referees usually allow you as an offensive lineman to get downfield on those passes. But nevertheless, he saw it, he called it. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Harding at their own 32-yard line with 3rd down and 10. 5:33 to play in this first half. Taylor drops straight back. Forced out of the pocket, trying to get out around her. He's got a man open, and that pass is complete almost out to a first down.
It's going to bring up a 4th and short. I mean, at this point of the season, everybody makes it to the playoffs. If I'm Coach Arnold, I'm going for it.
Pass is complete to Kurt Dorsey out there, 4th and 1, and looks like Harding's not going to chance giving Ursuline the ball back right here. They bring in the, well, let's see if that is the punt unit. It just may be the people they need for this play.
We've got a different season here. Everybody's making the playoffs. Right now,
it looks like Harding is going to go for that 4th and 1.
We're making football players here.
Timeout Ursuline. They want to talk this one over.
You've got this 4th and 1. You're 4:48 left in the first half. With a season like this, you need to make football players. It's 4th and 1. This is where you call that timeout. You bring your offensive line over. You bring your running backs over. And this is man on man. This is dig down deep. This is a defining moment that not only defines the rest of this game, but can define the rest of your season. This is what football is about. Me versus you, no trick plays. I'm going forward. I got 1 yard. I'm going to beat you. This is what you practice for. This is what you lift weights for. This is what this is what football is. So I'm 100% in agreement with this call here. Yes, if it doesn't work out, yes, you'll get the naysayers that'll question, why didn't you punt, keep it 12-0? You are establishing the character of your football team with plays like this.
Ursuline off their second timeout of the half. And we're looking to see what formation Harding came out in. Harding comes back out in that I formation once again.
So you got Paterno there at the lead back.
And there's the handoff to Bryson Powell. Powell's going to break it up. He's going to get the first down out around the 45-yard line. First down, Warren Harding.
Yeah, I really like that play there. Like what they did. Challenge your team. Put it on their shoulders. Let them go out there and do what they were trained to do. First down, new set of downs. Little over 4.5 minutes going to be left. Crucial drive. Keep this thing moving. Look for Elijah Taylor with his leadership right now to understand the magnitude of this drive. Push them down the field. Let's get something across the goal line.
Taylor stays under center for this first down and 10 play at their own 44-yard line. Perkins in motion, and Taylor's going to roll out to his right.
Got him one-on-one.
Dom Foster looking for Foster. And that ball goes incomplete. That was up for grabs for a moment there. The Ursuline defensive back managed to strip that ball away.
Yeah, Foster had a couple steps on him. Unfortunately, Taylor underthrew that ball, allowed for the defender to get back in position. Dom Foster became a cornerback there, kind of breaking up that pass. Allowed the Raiders to live to see another play on the offensive side of the ball here.
That incomplete pass stops the clock at 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the half. Second down and 10 from the 44-yard line coming up. Foster again down here on the near sideline. And Ursuline's going to use their last timeout of the half.
Well, Tom, you got about 4 minutes left. Looks like Harding's still got 2 timeouts left. Their side of the field, good position. Obviously, you want to stay away from the penalties, but big possession here. You had mentioned Ursuline's going to get the ball back to start the second half. Real important possession here for them to go down there, kind of set a tone going into the second half, give that offense, give that defense, give the team something positive to feed off of. We've been watching these kids for 4 or 5 years now. You've got multiple starters out there that have been 3-year starters. We can't say enough about the fact of, two-a-days being cut short and weightlifting and all those things that threw the season off. But that's not only true for Harding, that's true for Ursuline and every other team in this country. So although there's obviously some more work to be done, there was more work that could have been put in. You've got a lot of guys out here, 3-year starters. We really expect a lot from this year, and they expect a lot from themselves. So really looking for them to continue on, to lead this team, and especially in situations like this, showing that leadership, put some points on the board, and get your team back in the game.
Second down and 10. Taylor rolls off the near sideline. That ball gets thrown out of bounds. It's going to bring up a third down and 10. Taylor in a little bit of pressure down there. Looked like he was just trying to get rid of that one and avoid the sack. He had Foster over here on the sideline, but not much of a chance to get the ball to him after that rush.
Make it third down and 10.
Brings up third down and 10. Raiders still at the 44-yard line. 4:05 to play in the first half.
Well, from the last series of downs, I think right now you've got a 3rd and 10, but I think Coach Arnold has shown that out in this part of the field with this amount of time left, the situation the way it is, if he can reel off 6-7 yards here, this definitely becomes 4-down territory for the Raiders.
Taylor drops back, looks over that far sideline. He's got a man open, and there's the 6 yards you were looking for, Ed. Big hit on the play, but that play's going to get out to the 50-yard line.
Going to bring up about 4th and 4.
Completed to number 81, John Taylor.
Number 81, John Taylor, did a nice job hanging on to that because he was hit hard when that ball got to him.
I think that was exactly what they needed. Looks like he's just bringing Elijah Taylor over the sideline to discuss the next play.
will be spotted at the 50
Like you said, 4-down territory. Keep this drive going.
Brings up 4th and 4 at the 50-yard line. Clock is under 3.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Maybe even a little discipline here. Hard count on 2, on 3. See if you can get a free 5 yards to keep this drive moving.
Foster and Davion Burgess down here on the near sideline. That's the direction that Taylor's looking. Taylor under a lot of pressure, and he's going to go down way back at the 44-yard line, and there's a late flag.
A lot of pressure coming from Taylor's left side there. Had him on the run.
That might be a break for the Harding offense.
Personal
right
foul,
there.
roughing the passer. That's going to move the chains.
So a little too aggressive on our quarterback, Elijah Taylor. That's going to keep the Harding offense on the field for a bit longer.
Well, you take advantage of these type of things. You know, it's just like a turnover. You never want to let the team, the opposing team off on a turnover. They're going to turn over. You want to put your foot right on their neck with that. And with penalties like this, great play by the defense. You end up with that 15-yard penalty. It's going to give you the first down. These are the type of things that are deflating to the opposition. You just have to take advantage of it.
That penalty moves the ball all the way up to the Ursuline 35-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 Raiders with 3:08 to play in the half. Elijah Taylor under a tremendous amount of pressure on that last play, but
yeah, they said
the defensive line getting a little bit overly aggressive for Ursuline on that one. Get the chain set, and then we're going to get going here. Taylor looking. Taylor's got Foster. Foster trying to make a move. Gets out of bounds. Gets good positive yardage down about the 26-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and short.
Yeah, nice find by Elijah Taylor there. Found Don Foster out on the near sideline, able to get some yards, got out of bounds. I don't think the time's really a factor right now. They're 2 timeouts, 2:48. Really, all they got to do is play sound football right here. Establish the block first. Do your assignments, give your quarterback time, open up those holes for the running backs, and put some points on the board.
2nd down and 1. Elijah Taylor's got Bryson Powell to his left. Taylor looking again, fakes
nice
to Foster.
Fake.
He's got Foster in the end zone.
Got
Touchdown, Raiders!
What we talked about, veteran quarterback, 3-year starter, hit him with that pump fake. I couldn't tell if there was a double move out there by Don Foster, but I saw the pump fake by Elijah Taylor. Looked like that corner bit. Gave Don Foster 4 or 5-yard lead. Elijah Taylor was able to put it on the money. First score, 6-12 with 2:43 left. The Raiders are right back in this game.
Elijah Taylor to Don Foster for 26 yards and a touchdown. And that brings Jake Doherty on to attempt the extra point.
Young freshman here, Jake Doherty.
Low kick, but he gets it through. And with Ursuline failing on their extra point attempts, that makes it a 5-point ball game. We've talked about that time and time again, Eddie.
Yeah, great drive there by the Raiders, able to put that in. But as you had mentioned, you know, you look at those failed extra point attempts by Ursuline, puts Harding in a position they can get a score. They're going to be right back on top. But with 2:43 left, Ursuline's burned all 3 of their timeouts. So they've got 2:43 left. You want to keep this momentum going. Get a 3 and out. You've got your 2 timeouts left. Maybe throw on some points before the halftime. If not a touchdown, possibly 3 points. Jake Doherty has shown over this season, only a freshman, but has made a majority of his kicks. He understands what it means. He's up to the pressure. So 2:43 left. You got 2 timeouts. You can get a 3 and out here. Should give that offense plenty of time to be able to go down there, either take the lead or get 3 points on the board going into halftime.
Dilworth and Reardon are deep for the Irish. Doherty gets off a nice looking kick. It's going to be fielded down there around the 14-yard line. Reardon with the ball. Reardon still on his feet out past the 35-yard line. Got to about the 36 where he's brought down. That's where Ursuline's going to set up 1st down and 10. 2:35 to play in the first half. And once again, Ursuline with no timeouts on the clock. But they have shown an explosiveness here so far tonight.
Yeah, they've shown a real sound offense. I mean, being able to read that defense, exploiting some of the blitzes, run game hasn't failed them, and the quarterback has shown his presence in the pocket to be able to stay in there and find some of those open receivers. Right now, it's just Harding's got to do what they do. We've had great faith in our corners over this season. No problem with leaving them out on an island by themselves for the majority of the year, being able to send that blitz in there to really pressure the quarterback.
Shannon looking to his right. He gets Reardon. Reardon with about 6 on the play, brings up a 2nd down and 4, gets that ball out to about the 42-yard line. He's hit inbounds. Clock is still running, down below 2:20 now. And Shannon again looking downfield under a little bit of pressure, backs off, dumps it off to McElroy. McElroy's going to get a 1st down.
Ball!
And there's a loose ball in the play.
That's ours.
And it's Raider football at the 47-yard line with 2:05 to play in the first half.
Exactly what the Raiders needed right there. Great play. You give a lot of credit. I'm really impressed with the Ursuline offense and their quarterback. He sat back, he read the defense, he knew he had his outlet. That was probably the 3rd or 4th read over there to the right-hand side, to the high side, having Reardon over there. Found him in the flats. Great play by the defense. Come up, nice stick and strip. Going to give Harding 2:05 on their side of the 50. 2 timeouts left. Got to keep this momentum going. Go down, get yourself some points right here, bring that in the locker room, continue this momentum.
2:05 to play in the first half. The Raiders down 12-7, and they find themselves with the ball again. 1st and 10 at the Ursuline 47-yard line. Taylor drops back to pass. Taylor looking over the middle, and that ball was almost picked off by Reardon.
Probably a second earlier. Had him over the middle there. Found that soft spot in the zone. Probably Elijah Taylor's got the arm. He was able to zip that in there. Probably needed that about a half a second earlier, and he had a completion up the middle for about 15 yards.
Reardon breaks up that pass intended for Davion Burgess. That brings up a 2nd down and 10. We're at 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ball at the Ursuline 47. Foster and Davion Burgess down here on the near sideline. Taylor looking this way. He's got Foster. Foster with a couple of blockers. Foster breaks 1 tackle out of bounds. Foster gets down. It looks like they're going to spot him at the 35, and another 1st down, Harding.
Couldn't tell if Ursuline was going to jump into 3 deep there. That outside linebacker was lurking over there into the flats. Looked like he was kind of looking into the backfield as well, but great read. Dom Foster, an amazing athlete. Look, it's not about plays. It's about players. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. You saw it right there. Dom Foster in open field. Nice gain, out of bounds, 1st down, continuing the drive.
1st and 10 at the Ursuline 36-yard line. 3 receivers up in the top. You got Dom Foster down here on the near sideline. Taylor with a screen pass out to Powell. Powell makes the catch. Powell inside. Powell breaks the tackle. And Powell all the way down to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10, Harding.
Powell comes out of the backfield, the left-hand side. It was just a foot race. Isaiah Taylor put it right on the money. It was just a foot race with him and that outside linebacker to the corner. I thought he had the angle on him, but last minute was able to push him out of bounds, put the Raiders once again in another good position. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line with 1:45 and all 2 timeouts left.
They spot Powell out at the 15. It's 1st and 10, 1:45 to play in the half. Keep an eye on Dom Foster. Dom Foster's down here on the near sideline. Low snap.
Get on it,
they're
get
calling
on
that ball
it, get
long.
on it.
Nope, they are going to call it incomplete.
That's a forward pass.
Awful close. Trying to get Burgess out of the backfield there on the bad snap, broken play.
Yeah, you don't wait for the officials to make a call on that. You go get it.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 at the Ursuline 15-yard line. 1:40 to play. Harding on the short end of a 12-7 score, trying to take a lead into the locker rooms at halftime right here.
Right now, Tom, looks like they'd be looking at about a 32-yarder. You figure 15 plus 10 of the end zone plus 7 of the snap. You're looking at about 32 yards. Probably to be comfortable with the freshman Jake Doherty, you probably want to get another 5-7 yards here.
Taylor under pressure. Taylor's going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose 2 or 3 on that play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long out around the 16, 17-yard line.
You saw that come from the back judge there. Looks like that's going to be a holding. You wonder if it's in the defensive backfield or if they're going to call it on the offensive line. Looks like it's on the defensive backfield.
Flag on the play. Defensive holding, and that's going to give Harding another first down.
Yeah, the official that threw that, he can look into the backfield or he can see those wide receivers down there. It looks like one of the reasons that Elijah Taylor didn't have anybody open is we had a little bit of holding there, either by one of those linebackers or the corners in the defensive backfield. Going to give them a fresh set of downs, I believe.
And Harding getting a couple of breaks here in the final minutes of the first half and taking advantage of them. That's going to give Harding a first and goal up around the 5-yard line. First and goal Harding at the Ursuline 5. They set up in an offset I formation.
Ball.
And a low snap. Bad exchange from center to quarterback, and Ursuline's going to cover that one, and Ursuline's going to dodge a bullet, get the ball first down and 10 at their own 5-yard line with 1:18 to play in the half. Harding knocking at the door, and a bad snap shuts down that drive.
Yeah, that's a tough play. Harding taking back that momentum. You know, you got 1:18 left here in the first half. This first half has pretty much been visually dominated by Ursuline, and it gave Harding the opportunity to possibly go into halftime with the lead after Ursuline looks like they had pretty much controlled both sides of the ball. Unfortunately, with that turnover, that's going to give Ursuline the ball. Looking for that defense to step up and make a big stop here.
Shannon with the handoff to McElroy. McElroy gets 2 or 3 yards out to about the 8-yard line. Looks like the 7 they're going to mark it. Second down and 8. Clock continues to run. We're at a minute to go in the half.
Ursuline stays in that hurry up, but they're not. They're in no hurry. They're going to run some clock here.
Let that clock run down and get out of here with that 12-7 lead.
Well, we'll see what happens here on this play. Harding with 2 timeouts. They can get a stop here. I looked for Coach Arnold to burn a couple of those timeouts, put Ursuline in the position to at least punt to one of our explosive specialty players.
And there's a tackle in the backfield for a big loss all the way back to the 4-yard line.
I'd be calling the timeout. Looks like they did. 27 seconds. That's a 25-second clock. Going to be tough here.
Brings up a 3rd down 11 back at the Ursuline 4-yard line. Harding spends their second time out of the half with 25 seconds to play, 27 seconds to play.
You know, I will say I'm encouraged by even the formations over the last few years. We've rarely seen Harding go under center. We see a lot of shotgun, and you know, as a former ball player, you look at those short down and distances, and Harding traditionally was going out of that shotgun. You really wanted to see him get up under there under the center and play some power football. So I'm excited to see them go under center. Obviously, want to just make sure they work on that center quarterback exchange, but very, very encouraged. Opens up the offense to just a lot more of your play action, a lot more of your power football when you're able to put that quarterback under center.
3rd down and 11, and I got to believe if they're a good defensive play here, should bring up Harding's last time out and force the punt. But this time McElroy gets a little bit of running room, only out to the 9-yard line, and Harding is going to use that final timeout, try and save some seconds here and get the ball back before the end of the half. So,
well, it's exactly what we were talking about. You know, got explosive specialty players. It's going to be 22 seconds. They've got no timeouts, but the biggest thing is we all know at this level, you know, that long snap that's not the easiest thing to pull off here. So put them in a position to have to complete that long snap, get that punt off, give one of your specialty guys back there some open field running room. He might be able to pop something. So great stand by the defense, great utilization of those timeouts to put the team in a position to possibly be able to put some type of points up on the board with 22 seconds. And remember, in high school, the clock stops on a first down. So it's not just about getting out of bounds. It's not just about spiking the ball. That clock is going to stop until they reset, until they set that ball on the first down. So possibly decent punt return, maybe 1, maybe 2 plays from the line of scrimmage. Elijah Taylor's definitely got the arm. He's got the receivers that can stretch the field. Great position for Harding to be in here at the end of the first
There's
half.
a high snap. Reardon gets off a low kick.
Field that.
That's going to be fielded by John Taylor. Taylor breaks the tackle, gets it up inside the 35-yard line. 14 seconds left for the Raiders. So they've got good field position. They've got a little bit of time for a couple of plays. We've seen Dom Foster come in here in the second quarter. We've called his name quite a few times since he's entered the ball game. He seems to have got a nice rhythm going with Elijah Taylor right now, so anything can happen. We'll see what we try to do here with 14 seconds left.
Yeah, Tom, and with 14 seconds left, the field's wide open. He can hit a slant, he can hit a post, he can work the sidelines, he can even look for some of those screens out of the backfield. Offensive line just got to be, on their toes, get up to the line and spike it, but he should be able to get a good maybe 2, maybe 3 plays out of this drive with 14 seconds left if the receivers, running backs, and quarterback, if they understand the situation and they play the field right, there's a possibility they can get 2 or 3 plays out of this.
And it looks like Foster and Burgess are over here on the near sideline. Taylor looking forward, Taylor under pressure, and Taylor's going to be sacked way back at the 38-yard line, and that's probably going to bring a close to the first half.
The one thing that they could not do is give up the sack. The sack is what was going to end the half. Ursuline, as they have consistently tonight, was able to get some pressure, able to take Elijah Taylor down in the backfield. Unfortunately, that's going to end the hopes for the first half. But overall, very proud to see the bend but don't break mentality of not just the offense, but the defense as well. Going to put us in a position where we're down, but a lot of confidence in what we saw in the end of that second quarter there, moving us into the third.
So that brings us to the end of the first half. The Raiders are going to take a break on the short end of a 12-7 score. And stay tuned. We're going to have the Harding Band come out. We'll see the Harding halftime show. And we will be back in about 10 to 15. So stay tuned, Raider Nation. Second half to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present the 2020 Raider Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Reed Young and Heather Cerny. Our major ed instructors are Marissa Becky and Gabby Jones. Flatline instructors Celeste Harris. Percussion instructors are Brian Younger and Jason Bennett. The band is led onto the field by field commanders Caleb Osley, Kiara Sneakus, and head drummer Maurice Patterson. This year we perform our show 2020 as we present a year in review through music. Our show opens with a song from the 90s by the group The Offspring. Here is The Kids Aren't All Right. Up next is a triple feature highlighting our flag line, drum line, and majorettes. First up is the Raider flag line to the song Bad Guy, followed by this year's drumline feature, and ending with the 2020 majorettes performing to Mic Drop. We end our show with the Raider Band looking forward as we have high hopes for the future. The Raider Band would like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer our Raider team. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. The Phillips Standard in Northeast Ohio, the 2020 Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band. For generations, this field, this stadium, is where we witness kids start their path to pursue their dreams. Three championship organizations that raise boys into men gave them their start to build their talents, believe in their dreams, and reach their ultimate goal. In this city, this is not taught just on the football field, but expressed to every student that has ever walked through a Warren City school door. We are taught at a very young age to believe in our talents, believe in our dreams, set a goal, and to never give up.
This is our time, no turning back. We could live like the giants.
Here are over 40 men that believed in that Warren spirit and reached their ultimate goal of playing professional football. From the Warren G. Harding Panthers, Bill Collar, Joseph Carroll, David Arnold, Tyrone Hicks, Greg Zakharoff, Travis Davis, and NFL Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. From the Warren Western Reserve Raiders, Ross Browner, Jimmy Browner, Joey Browner, Keith Browner, Aaron Brown, Vanessa Brandon, Myron Elzey, Derek Kelson, Vanessa Decree, Elfie Birch, and Mark Brandon. From the Warren G. Harding Raiders, LaShawn Daniels Sr., Derek Tolles, Maurice Claret, Carl Diggs, Prescott Burgess, David Herron, Vanessa Provin, Christopher Anzavino, Mario Manningham, Chris Rucker, Daniel Boone Herron, LaShawn Daniels Jr., James Daniels, Yoda Froholt, and recently added to the football legends of Warren, Ohio,
With the 80th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select
Lynn Bowden. Along the way, we have lost a few football legends of Warren, Ohio, but their legacy will live long here at Mollenkopf Stadium. John Chicernio, Chuck Ripple, Jim Bratz, Lionel Thomas, Michael Graham, Teddy Roberts, Lionel Reed, David Rogers, and Corey Stringer. So to the next generation in Warren, it doesn't matter how small.
Okay, welcome back, Raider Nation. Getting set for the second half kickoff. Raiders will be kicking off to start this second half. The Raiders down 12-7. Squandered a big opportunity to go into halftime at lead. finding themselves first down and goal with plenty of time left towards the end of the first half, only to fumble the ball away on a bad center to quarterback exchange. But nevertheless, Warren Harding finds themselves in a good ball game with Ursuline. And back again with Eddie Colbert. Eddie, we're getting ready to start second half. What do you see coming up?
Well, I see him going right back to the basics. You know, Harding, through some turnovers that they were able to make happen on the defensive side of the ball, put themselves in good position to keep themselves in this game, stop some Ursuline drives. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, that fumbled center quarterback exchange down there inside the 10-yard line kept the Raiders out of the end zone for the second time, possibly, obviously, giving them the lead. So defense has been strong throughout the season. Defense has, played well today. It's getting that Ursuline offense off the field, getting the Raider offense back on the field, and I'm highly confident that the coaching staff had a heart-to-heart talk with that line. It all starts up front, looking to establish the line of scrimmage, get that running game going, open it up for the passing game, and get this offense moving.
Jake Doherty set to put the ball in play for Harding. That kick will be fielded inside the 15-yard line. Looks like Matt Reardon once again. Reardon's going to be taken down at about the 25. And that's where Ursuline will start off their second half offensive series. 1st and 10.
Let's see if Ursuline stays with that fast-paced offense. Was able to, I believe, highly contribute to the first touchdown. Was able to catch Harding in the middle of a substitution, trying to get the 11th man on the field. We'll see if Ursuline stays with that high-paced offense, trying to keep this Harding defense winded and on their toes.
Brady Shannon once again at quarterback. He's got Dante Walker off to his right. That looks like Reardon in motion. Shannon with the screen pass out to Matt Reardon. Reardon trying to get around the end. He gets up a few yards. He's hit hard over there on the sideline. Gets that ball out to about the 28-yard line. It's going to bring up actually a 33-yard line. Sorry about that. 33-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and 2 off that 8-yard first down play.
Ursuline not getting away from those screens that were so successful for him in the first half. Puts himself in a 2nd and 2. Opens up the playbook for the Ursuline offense.
Over the middle to Reardon once again. Reardon makes the grab. Gets the ball out to about the 47-yard line. And that's another Ursuline first down.
Yeah, got to give it to Reardon. This offense really trying to slow down that Raider defense with throwing these slants over the middle, using these screens, really trying to isolate and slow down these linebackers, keep them contained into that box, make them think twice about sending that blitz.
Reardon in motion. This time the handoff is to Walker. Walker looking for some running room, picks up a gain of about 4 on that play, brings up a 2nd down and 6. That carry gets the ball into Harding territory up to about the 49-yard line.
Tom, looks like we got a second here while the officials sort something out. Just want to take a second to thank everybody from Wscn that puts this great broadcast together, allowing during this COVID season for us to be able to enjoy Raider football, from the staff to the students that bring this great production to you. Greatly thankful to bring some normalcy. Had a couple check-ins here. Bob Moody, 1969 Raider graduate, watching from his camp up in Ashtabula, as well as Jamal Franklin watching the game in his backyard with his dad. Glad to have everybody here tonight.
Face mask penalty moves Ursuline ahead, and that gives to Walker. Walker with a lot of running room, gets a first down inside the 25-yard line, up to about the 23-yard line. There was a face mask penalty at the end of that last play that gave Ursuline a first down and moved the ball well ahead. Ursuline on the move once again, 1st down and 10 at the Raider 23-yard line.
Yeah, line was able to open up there. Big Sam Walton was off the field on that play. Looks like they're bringing him back in to try to stuff those holes.
And there's a complete pass over the sideline. That one looks number 10. Jakelin Irving with the reception over there. Picks up a few. Looks like about 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 at the 19-yard line. And there's the handoff once again. Dante Walker with a big hole up the middle, and he scores from 19 yards out.
Yeah, you take a look there. I couldn't tell if the linebackers came or not. Let's see. Looks like they took that motion over to the right, cleared everybody out. As soon as he beat the defensive line, there was nobody home. Nothing but green grass in front of him. Not a lot of adjustments that you saw from the Ursuline offense there. It looked like just a repeat of what you saw in the first half. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Defense has still got to go in there and look at disrupting that front line there. Options can't be open like that. Options cannot be open like that. You've got to try to take control of this. You got to put pressure on the quarterback. You got to close those holes for the running backs.
Peplowski's in to try to kick the extra point this time. Ursuline with an 18-7 lead now. There's a whistle on the play. It was a good kick,
Probably
but a
false
whistle,
start.
false start. They're going to try it again from 5 yards further back.
Well, he definitely had the leg for there. It looked like it was true straight down the middle, but always got to be aware. They're trying to make up for some of those missed extra points. They've shown in this game that they're willing to pull something out of their hat. Got to keep your head on a swivel out here, even on the extra points.
This will back Peplowski back to about the 15-yard line. That's going to make this a 25-yard extra point attempt. Peplowski in the kick, and you got to watch that holder, Matt Reardon. He has been all over the field tonight. Peplowski with the kick. It's up off the upright, and another missed extra point. That's going to keep the score at 18-7. Youngstown Ursuline with 9:44 to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, big penalty there is going to keep a point off the board, keep this game a little bit closer, but Ursuline did exactly what they wanted to do. They came out second half, took that opening kickoff, drove very convincingly down the field with a mixture of pass, runs. Harding defense had really no answer for the Ursuline offense. So now it's for that defense to come over to the sideline, them to have a discussion, figure out what they did wrong, try to fix it on this next set of downs, but it is very imperative for the offense to get out there, that line, to establish a line of scrimmage, get that running game open up the top, give your quarterback some time. You've got the athletes out there. You get them in these one-on-one situations, they can score from anywhere on the field, but it literally comes down to a personal decision. You got to beat the man in front of you. You got to make a decision that you are going to beat the man in front of you by any means necessary. Really look for the Harding offense, specifically that offensive line, to dig down deep on this first possession, set that tone moving forward, get the momentum back in Harding's favor as they had going in the first half at the end before they had that untimely quarterback center exchange.
9:44 to play here in the third quarter, and Ursuline has increased its lead to 18-7. Peplowski on to do the kicking. Marquand Brown and Bryson Powell back deep for the Raiders. And this looks to be Marquand Brown fielding the ball just inside the 15-yard line. He's coming to the near sideline. Actually, that's Bryson Powell. Powell's got some running room. Powell gets it out to 40, beyond the 40. Powell still on his feet, all the way out to the 47-yard line. And a nice return for Bryson Powell to give Harding great field position to start this possession.
Nice return by Bryson Powell. Showed his speed when you see the kickoff coming down here. High kick brings them both together. Ursuline stays in their lanes. He's able to split a couple tacklers there, bounce off a tackle, hit that sideline, but he doesn't go out of bounds. Keeps on moving north and south for an additional 5-6 yards. Great run by the junior there to put Harding right back in position to move this ball down the field for a score.
Looks like Powell stays in the ball game. He lines up to Taylor's left. Taylor in that shotgun position. Screen pass. Looks like that was maybe Davion Burgess over there. Just barely gets the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to the defender there. I think that was number 8, Matthews. Had a elusive athlete out there in a one-on-one open field situation there. He was able to get himself in good position, make that tackle there for no gain. Tackled him at the line of scrimmage. Could have possibly went for a big one. Give the defense all the credit on that there. Great read by Elijah. Defense made a great play.
Again, 3 receivers left. Dom Foster down here on the near sideline. Taylor's going to keep it. And another screen pass out to Burgess once again. This time Burgess does get ahead for 5 or 6 yards. Looks like Looks like 5 yards.
Yeah, a little different look there. Kind of a quick RPO. You saw him with that, almost reading that fullback, you know, to the one hole there. Pulled it out, was able to find his receiver out there. I thought he was going to take it himself up the left side there. Was able to find his receiver out there, put himself in a position of 3rd and manageable here at 3rd and 5.
5-yard gain puts the ball in Ursuline territory at the 48-yard line. Taylor back to pass over the middle.
Got him.
He's got, looks like,
Cover
and that will be a touchdown, Raiders. I think that was number 6. Is that Davion Burgess on that one?
I believe that was Burgess. Gave the quarterback some time, was able to find Burgess. Looks like he was running a skinny post there. No safety to be found. It was off to the races. No, it looks like that was number 9.
Number 9, Kanye Red.
Looks like Kanye Red, another junior. Got him listed 5'8", 155, exactly how you wanted to see the Raiders respond there.
Hard sometimes to see these numbers. Raiders have their black-on-black jerseys. But at any rate, it is a 48-yard touchdown pass from Elijah Taylor to Kanye Red. And Jake Daugherty with the kick. And Daugherty hits the upright. That's going to keep the score at 18-13 with 8:02 to play in the 3rd quarter.
You know, Tom, I'm a homer, so I'm going to say no harm, no foul. Even if he'd have made it, it was 4 points, still needed a touchdown. 5 points, still need a touchdown to go up. But I'm also going to lean on you when you said that it's hard to see these numbers because of the black on black. I'm not going to talk about the fact that we're old. So we're
that's got a little bit something to do with it too. These aren't a young pair of eyes up here looking out there.
But we'll take that score. You know, all year for the past couple years, we've seen Elijah Taylor step up. 3-year starter, as we've mentioned many times before, able to find his receiver over the middle there, recognize no safety in the middle of the field, run that post pattern. He puts it on the money. It's off to the races. Harding's got athletes out there that can score from anywhere on the field. So once again, offense is putting their team in a position to be able to win this game. Going to rely on the defense to fix some of those issues that they had in that Ursuline second half drive. Get the offense back on the field. You open up that passing game, you know, each thing, running opens up the passing, passing opens up the running. So, you know, you find what's working, stick with it till they stop it. Once they do, start feeding those running backs.
And Dilworth fields that ball at about his 14-yard line, breaks a couple, gets out to about the 29. And Ursuline will have the ball 1st down and 10 with just under 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, sitting on an 18-13 lead currently. And Harding finds itself in another close back-and-forth contest, very similar to what we saw last week over in Austintown.
Yeah, look for the defense to try to make a big stand here. In the first half, you saw a couple turnovers that were forced. Unfortunately, the offense wasn't able to take advantage of those turnovers. Didn't amount in any points. That's why you see the score the way it is. Defense has played solid all night. Just looking for them to put together another stop. High snap.
And Shannon keeps that one. Actually, that was Reardon in the backfield. That wasn't the quarterback. That was Reardon taking that snap. Shannon was down here in a wide receiver position.
Yeah, Ursuline as well. You know, Ursuline's got a lot of good athletes on the other side of the ball. They've shown it throughout the game. Reardon, obviously somebody that they rely heavily on. Looks like down here, you've got these strips down here. Safety's kind of far over there, high safety.
And this time Reardon hands it off to Dilworth, trying to get around the end. Dilworth, that's being strung out. Maybe a yard on that. Yeah, Ursuline kind of go with kind of a wildcat offense with Reardon taking the snaps in there right now.
Yeah, you saw the running back there take that ball. He's coming to the near side there, took that step out of bounds. One of the things that I really like to see about these Harding running backs, you don't see a lot of that. You see them get north and south. You see them get those pads level, fall forward for that extra 2-3 yards.
3rd down and 9, and Reardon stays in that wildcat position. That's a backwards pass.
Stick on him. We're back.
And Reardon makes that catch. Reardon throws the ball over and gets out there in the secondary, and Reardon makes the catch. Reardon is doing it all for Ursuline right now.
You saw this play develop early. You saw the double pass forming early. gave him his blockers. Everybody kind of stood waiting, gave him too much time back there. You can only ask the corners to cover for so long.
1st and 10 as Ursuline moves it into Harding territory at the 47-yard line. And back to a little more traditional setup with Brady Shannon back in that quarterback position. Reardon is over in the slot out to his right. He comes in motion down here towards the near sideline. And that's exactly who Shannon's looking for once again. And it's a gain of about 3 or 4 for Ursuline on that play. It looks like they'll give them out maybe 2.
All
3,
night.
2nd down and 7 off of that.
You see they run those trips. They run one guy off. Next guy stays in the block. He's got the other slot receiver there for that bubble screen. It's been getting him consistent yards all night.
That's Dilworth in motion. The handoff up the middle to McElroy. McElroy gets a lot of running room. McElroy breaks it to the outside. McElroy to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Ursuline. 44 yards for McElroy on that play. DeMarcus McElroy, 44 yards and an Ursuline touchdown.
And that slot on the right, he got out there on the linebacker, and once he got on the linebacker, it was a foot race. You know, you got the corners out there being picked up by the wide receivers, but that right slot was able to pick up one of those linebackers, gave him the space that he needed with the speed that he has. It was just a foot race to the pylon. So find yourself back in a similar position with the offense. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter, looking for another drive to.
Looks like they have him out of bounds at the 1 yard line, so it wasn't a score on that play. 1st and goal, Ursuline at the 1.
It's like
somebody called a timeout. I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, they're showing 3 for both teams. I don't know if the officials are discussing something. The trainers are coming out.
The trainers are coming out. I don't see anybody down.
Oh, looks like somebody slipped. If you can catch him right back there along the fence line. Looks like when he.
Oh, okay. Out off the field, back in the corner. We have somebody back in the corner who's down. Got out there on the blacktop area out there and lost their footing.
Yeah, you see that a lot here with the way these stadiums are developed.
And that's McElroy, who made that run out there. Got forced out of bounds at the 1. Got beyond the field of play out into the blacktop area where the cleats have absolutely no traction. So good to see him jogging back into the sidelines.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see that a lot on this level as well as the Division I college level. The way these stadiums are all.
You've got a running track around the field.
It's something that you see it on the sidelines a lot in the pros where these guys, they just lose their traction. Luckily, the young man was able to get up. We look to see him back in the game.
So that makes it 1st down and goal. They hand off to Walker up the middle, and Walker doesn't get in that time. Nice push forward by that Harding defensive line on that play to bring up 2nd down and goal. Still at the 1 yard line, no gain on the play. And McElroy coming back in after that brief injury timeout.
Yeah, Harding's forced a couple fumbles. Really want to see him pinch in on that defensive line. Like to see some penetration by that front 4 or 5. Locked up one-on-one there with their corners on the outside. And they're going to burn another timeout early.
2nd down and goal at the 1 yard line. McElroy with that long run to put Ursuline into great scoring position once again. Harding defense hoping to see if they can hang tough here and keep a few more Ursuline points off the board, keep them in this ball game.
Yeah, Tom, you go back to that 3rd and 9. You saw him run the double pass there. Initially, the corner safeties all stayed home, had good coverage, but unfortunately, not enough pressure to the quarterback. Provided that wide receiver who ended up being the quarterback with just too much time. You can only ask for those corners and those safeties to cover for so long. He probably had a good 4 or 5 seconds to throw the ball there.
At least.
Was able to extend that drive. It was able to put Ursuline in a position to go back to that traditional offense of grinding that ball down the field through a mixture of screen passes as well as runs, find themselves here down at the 1 yard line with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and goal at the 1, and the whistle blows again.
It's going to be a false start, I would think. Unless you got somebody lined up in the neutral zone, but they blew it
There's
early.
a flag down.
They're gonna
Looks
call
like
us.
it's encroachment on the Raiders, so that's going to make it 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. Split that distance. And there's a handoff to McElroy, and on second attempt, second effort, McElroy pushes it in.
The call.
I think they had him stopped initially. McElroy kept his legs going, got into the end zone, and that makes the score 24-13 Ursuline with 5:12 to play in the third quarter.
We'll see what Ursuline elects to do here. Both teams have shown some struggles in the special teams with their extra points. Both kickers. I bet you if you gave them $50 and 10 kicks, they couldn't hit that upright. But they both found a way to find opposite uprights here.
And it looks like Ursuline's going to try to get 2 of those points back on this play. Setting up
Watch the
Reardon
screens
in
and hit the
motion.
run. Look at 8.
And Shannon
8 on the
looking for
corner.
Reardon.
Yep. Nope.
And nice coverage over there on the sideline to keep Reardon out of the. Oh, I guess they call it a fumble, and he picks it up. I'm just not real sure about that. I cannot believe that he ever had that ball long enough to rule that a completion. I don't normally complain too much from this far away, but
they're talking about it because you've got to have.
I just don't understand
You've got to
that
turn.
call.
You've got to. We're going to see it on the replay here. You saw him. He's running out on that.
I can't believe that's any kind of a completion.
I don't see an athletic move. I don't see the control of the ball. Even when it hits the ground, it looks like it's short of the end zone there. But they're going to huddle up and talk about this.
I don't normally complain too much because I'm so far away I can't really see from down there. But that call I just do not agree with at all.
Hey, in the pros, they tell you have to have possession 2 feet down with an athletic move. I'm not sure that you could justify that all that happened on that play. Great, I give the player a lot of credit for the attempt, but it just doesn't seem like he had enough to justify.
And the officials are going to wave that one off.
Good call. We don't have replay, but they come together and it looks like they made the right call.
I can hear the boos coming up from the Ursuline side, but at the risk of sounding like a homer, I think the right call was made right there.
I think the right call was made. I mean, honestly, they got a better view than we do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the officials on this one.
So that keeps the score at 24-13. And extra points tonight seem to be at a premium because they just aren't happening that much. And looks like the fans are giving the officials a standing ovation to counter the boos from the Ursuline side.
Yeah, it's tough, and especially at this level, you don't have that instant replay that they can review. These guys are down there; these officials are down there trying to do the best they can. They're never going to try to cheat a kid. They're making these calls in real time. Very difficult. They don't have the ability of the replay. So I give them credit for trying to make the right call.
And that kick's going to go out of bounds. That's going to give Harding the ball at the 35-yard line, so that's a little bit of a boost. Harding with 5:12 to play. Plenty of time in this ball game. Harding has shown the ability to move the ball. They just have to finish off a drive right here, Ed.
Yeah, you just see the mistake here or the mistake here that ends up just being where the game turns on. We go back to that 3rd and 9, the double pass. We talk about the fumbled quarterback center exchange down there. You talk about a hold penalty earlier in the second half that put them in a 2nd and 21, 2nd and 24 position.
And, not to interrupt, Harding's going to decline that out-of-bounds kick and elect to try to return the ball.
Well, this is when you've got explosion like you do back there. I see Dom Foster's went back. I think that's a new wrinkle that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I see Foster back there.
But you put some of these playmakers, specifically on your punt return, you put them back deep. You're giving them, you know, at this level, you don't see these kicks going very high. So most times these are low line drive kicks. The kicking team does not have the speed to get down there, and so that's going to give one of your athletes the ability to catch that ball in the open field with a good 10, 15 yards in front of them. They're 9 times out of 10, they've got the ability to make the first man miss. They just need a couple blocks to break it, so I definitely understand why they would decline and make them re-kick it.
So this looks like Davion Burgess gets the ball out to the 25, and that was Red again, Kanye Red, number 9, with that return.
So
that was Marquand Brown, number 3, trying to pick up these numbers here. Marquand Brown with that return out to the 25-yard line, and
I'll be interested to see where they go here. I mean, we've seen them have some success running the ball. We've seen them have success off the left arm of Isaiah Taylor. Very important possession here, down 11 points, 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
There's the handoff to Powell. Powell gets a little bit of running room, picks up a few yards. Powell still on his feet. And look at Bryson Powell churn away some yards for a first down. Second, third, and fourth effort on that play.
Did you see Bryson Powell? Watch those legs. Watch first contact, second contact. Watch him drag runners. This kid's 5'6", 140. He is churning those legs. I know his grandmother, Miss Helen Rucker, is sitting at home proud watching her young grandson out here setting the example of what a Warren Raider running back should be like. Excellent run by the young man.
That's a 1st and 10, gets it out to the 38-yard line. High snap. Taylor fields it, gets the pass off. Looks like Marquand Brown, they're going to lose him up. Marquand Brown bounces off, and they're still going to lose some yards. That takes it back to the 35-yard line. That play was in trouble from the start with the high snap.
Yeah, great recovery by Elijah Taylor there. Fumbled fumbled the shotgun. Bought him a little time, though, was able to find his receiver out there. You know, I go back to that Bryson Powell run where you saw him make first contact and keep on going north and south. He kept on churning those legs to get the extra yards. When you saw that play there, you had the wide receiver out there. He had the block on the corner. Saw a little bit too much dancing by the receiver there. There comes a point where you make one move and you go. Lower your shoulder pads, get north and south, get positive yardage.
3rd down and 14. My mistake. That was Burgess. Davion Burgess on that last reception. And that pass is complete. And again, these Harding ball carriers fighting for yardage. First down, Harding inside Ursuline territory. Just refusing to go down on that first hit.
Like to see the fight. Like to see that fight. Like to see that struggle for those additional yards. 3 minutes left, down 11 points. Harding is on the move now in Ursuline territory. You're seeing them. They're kind of getting away from their run game. They're putting this drive on Elijah Taylor's left arm. We'll see if they've got to hit maybe something quick up the middle there, get past those linebackers, see if one of those quick running backs can break one.
And this is the handoff to Powell. Powell gets around that end. Powell picks some yards. And again, Powell churning those legs, gets 5 or 6 on that first down play.
Just another strong run. I mean, they've got they've got Powell. Bryson Powell listed 5'6", 140. He's running a lot bigger than that. You know, you see these shirt tackles. You see them grabbing his shirt. He refuses to go down on a shirt tackle. As a running back at this level of high school football, you do not go down off of a shirt tackle. You make them pay. If they're not willing to put a shoulder on you and wrap, you make them pay, and that's what Bryson Powell's been doing.
Taylor, he gets, and Foster can't quite come up with that one. Brings up a 3rd down and 5. That previous pass play to get the first down, that was Kurt Dorsey on that. And again, Kurt Dorsey is another young man who, not a lot of weight, 165, and he dragged 2 or 3 Ursuline defensive backs ahead for that first down. So these young men they're playing hard. They're staying in this ball game, and they're out there giving it everything they have right now. It is 3rd down and 5. Harding knows they need a good drive right here. They know they need to cap one off.
I think they're in 4th down I think they're in 4-down territory already.
Pass over the middle. That's going to be close to a first down. Not quite. We're going to be about a yard short, and there's a late flag.
Face mask. Looks like that's going to. I saw him tapping his helmet. That's a late flag for him to throw. So for him to, if that's a legal man downfield, That's a late flag. If anything, I was thinking he's going to call the face mask. But it looks like I saw him tap the top of his head. We'll see what the call is.
Now
They're walking it off. That looks like
could be that face mask. That's going to be a 15-yarder. They're taking it all the way down inside the 30, down about the 26-yard line. And a big penalty against Ursuline right there. That sets Harding up at first and down at the 26. So the Raiders on the move, trying to get back into this ball game before the close of the third quarter, down 24-13, 2 minutes to play. Taylor looking left. Taylor under some pressure, gets the pass off. It's complete, and that shakes the tackle inside the 15. And it looks like Kurt Dorsey once again on that reception.
Yeah, Kurt Dorsey's been another nice safety net for the quarterback throughout the year. Another nice find. Looks like that was probably a second or third read when he found Dorsey open over the middle in that soft zone defense. You see him, he drops back here, looks, fakes, steps up, was able to find his receiver over the middle. Nice gain, give the Raiders a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 here at the 15-yard line.
Dorsey fights ahead for that first down. Raiders getting that I formation. Taylor under center. There's a handoff up there to Powell. Powell gets the running room out to the left.
Touchdown.
And Powell breaks it in for a touchdown from 15 yards away.
I talked about his strength. I talked about his determination. You saw he took that counter to the right. His vision showed him the hole opening wide open on the left. He was able to plant that foot, go back. Nothing but green grass and a foot race to the end zone. Bryson Powell in for the touchdown for Harding.
And the Raiders are right back in this ball game at 24-19 with a minute 24 to play. And it looks like the Raiders are going to try to put 2 on the board right here. They've got Elijah Taylor coming back out at quarterback. Raiders trying to make this a 3-point ball game.
Yep.
They're going to set it up over on the far hash mark. Dorsey lined up down here to the right. Keep an eye on him right here.
Watch Don Foster down in the near side. Looked like he's got one-on-one. I don't think that safety can pop out on him. Looks like a pick play. And he's got it.
And that play is good for 2. And the Raiders are down by 3 at 24-21. 1:24 to play in the third quarter. 2-point attempt is good.
Nice read by the quarterback. Looks like you saw a pick play down there. Corner still kept coverage. Looked like the pick play didn't really work. Corner still kept coverage. Taylor able to put that on the money, make this a 3-point game with a minute 24 left in the third quarter. Exactly where the Raiders would hope to be coming out of that coming out of halftime.
And now once again it falls back on the Raider defense to keep Ursuline out of the end zone. Try and get the ball back and take a lead here as we get down to the closing moments of this third quarter. 1:24 to play in the third quarter. It's a 24-21 Ursuline lead. Harding fighting back after that initial Ursuline touchdown for the second half.
You know, Tom, give Ursuline's offense a lot of credit. I mean, they've shown the ability to be successful in many different facets of the offensive game, whether it be your traditional run, pass, or even some trick plays, have been able to keep Ursuline's offense on top here. We'll see if the Raiders got an answer for that Ursuline offense.
And that's Reardon from the 12-yard line, gets it out to about the 30. Ursuline's going to set up first down and 10 at the 30-yard line with a minute 19 to play here in the third quarter. And Reardon's the guy you got to keep an eye on right now, Ed. He has been Mr. Everything for Youngstown Ursuline for this ball game.
Yeah, it obviously starts with Reardon. He's been the focal point of this offense, and for good reason. He's showing it. He's showing it. He's showing it tonight. If you can stop him, you can stop this offense. It all starts with him. You want to start to get some pressure. You'd like to see those front four get some pressure on him. They've obviously found a way to exploit the blitz, so it's really imperative for the front four to get some pressure on him, make him uncomfortable.
Shannon with the handoff to, looks like Dante Walker down there. Walker is stacked up after about a 3-yard gain.
A little bit of momentum shift here for the Raiders. You see that defense react to it with a nice stop at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 7. We're at 1 minute to play here in the third quarter.
You've seen that they like to release those slot backs to the outside, hit them with those bubble screens. Defensive ends need to stay home, contain, nothing outside, push everything back to the middle.
Reardon moves in motion, and that's exactly who Shannon's looking for with the screen pass. Reardon gets a few. He's going to be short of the first down, bring up 3rd down at about 1 or 2. Gets it out to looks like around the 38-yard line.
Once again, success with that, with those screen passes. You wonder if they're going to want to start manning up, using whether it's walking those safeties up or utilizing those outside linebackers, or maybe even trying to fool the defense, shooting your 2 defensive ends out into the flats to try to pick up those screens, and then use your linebackers as your outside linebackers as the containment.
There's the handoff up the middle of Dante Walker. Walker's not going to get the first down. He is stopped short. It's going to bring him a 4th down and 1 here at the end of the third quarter.
Now, Tom, we've seen both teams gamble on 4th down many times tonight. You've got a different game now, 3 points. They're going to probably let this clock run down so they can go over there and talk about it. But I think a 3-point game, momentum in the Raiders' favor. I'd highly doubt that Coach Reardon wants to go for it on this side of the 50-yard line.
And that's the end of the third quarter. We have got a good one here with Ursuline on top 24-21, and the Raiders fighting back every step of the way. We're going to open up the fourth quarter with Ursuline facing a 4th down and 1. We're going to wait and see what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, look. You've seen this has been a slug match. It's going one back and forth. 2-story programs.
I want to have a chance to prove the girls soccer team talent.
I want to be able to score goals this season.
To experience my senior year with my team.
I want Friday night under the lights.
Playoff run here. Couldn't ask for a better game to lead up to this final 12 minutes going into the fourth quarter.
Well, hopefully you've been here all evening because it's been a good one. But if you're just now tuning in, you've tuned in just in time. We've got a big fourth quarter coming up. Ursuline trying to hang on to that 3-point lead, maybe increase it. They're going to face a 4th down and 1 when we open up the fourth quarter.
Harding's got to be careful. Ursuline comes out. You know, we've seen all night, they put Reardon back there to punt. He kind of does that little shuffle, kind of almost like we said, like an RPO on a traditional offense where he's got the ability. His coaches have got they've got the trust in him to be able to read it. So we'll see if they come out to go for it. Looks like they are. Looks like
set up in a
big play.
So he's got 2 backs. He's got McElroy and Walker back there. And there's some motion on the Ursuline side. That's going to back Youngstown Ursuline up 5 yards. So he's going to make a 4th down and 6.
They weren't trying to draw Harding off sides. They were going man-to-man with them. Unfortunately, that left tackle got a little too rambunctious. That's going to push them back to a 4th and 6. They're going to bring out the punt team. But once again, they're going to have to
keep an eye on Reardon back there. If he sees an opening, he's going to take it. But a huge break for Warren Harding that forces Ursuline into a punting situation.
Talk about these mental mistakes, penalties, how they can kill a drive. That right there. Big play for Harding.
High snap. They're punting it away from Dom Foster, and that takes not a real good bounce. Harding's going to get pretty nice field position to start this drive at their own 32 with the entire fourth quarter to go. 11:53 to play.
Yeah, Harding kind of had their way last time on the offensive side of the ball. You know, a lot of nice mixture of some run, nice mixture of some pass. Offensive line just needs to keep the quarterback clean. Needs needs to let those running backs get a couple steps. They've got the speed. They've showed the ability to be able to break big plays. Offensive line just has to give them a little bit of room. They've got the athleticism to make one man miss, and it's off to the races. Just looking for the offensive line to set the tone right here.
Tom Foster lines up down here on the near sideline. He's always a player to watch. He has pretty much become Elijah Taylor's favorite target. Taylor in that shotgun. He's got 3 receivers on this side of the field. And he's going to hand it off to Bryson Powell, and try as he might, Powell's not going to get any yards on this play. He gets back to about the line of scrimmage, brings up a 2nd down and 10.
You saw Powell hit the middle there, little too many stutter steps. That hole's closed. Do what you do. Use that speed. Get those shoulders parallel. Drive forward for a couple yards. You'll see he gets right here and he starts to stutter, and at that point you're standing still. You know, you make yourself too easy to tackle right there. You got to make a decision. It's either a breaker or it's not. And if it's not, lower that shoulder, get yourself 2-3 yards. We move on to the next play.
2nd down and 10. Taylor looking for Foster, and he's under a lot of pressure once again. He gets the ball away just over the arms of Dom Foster. Taylor avoids the sack, brings up a 3rd down and 10. And Taylor's been running for his life in that pocket all night long tonight.
Well, you talk about the keys to success is, you know, not allowing for that defensive penetration is one of the keys to the game. You saw in the first play with Powell running the ball, defensive lineman got great penetration, was able to stop that play in the backfield. You see this play here, more penetration, able to put Elijah Taylor under too much pressure, dropping back. He was able to wing that ball out there to Dom Foster, but not with much accuracy, almost just throwing the ball away to avoid a sack. Offensive linemen's got to step up, keep them out of the backfield.
3rd down and 10. Taylor over the middle, he's got his man. And that's awful close to a 1st down over there. I think that's Kurt Dorsey once again.
Is that Powell or is that Dorsey?
Or is that Powell? Hard to tell these numbers. I think that's Dorsey, 23.
Yeah,
and Dorsey once again fights ahead for a few extra yards and gets that 1st down out to the 43-yard line.
You see Harding with a little pep in their step on the offensive side here. Quick up to the line, trips to the near side.
Now this time it's Powell. Powell looking for room around his left end. He fights ahead for about 3. Gets it into Ursuline territory down about the 49-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 7.
Like to see that run there. He's running that sweep here to the near side. Instead of running that ball straight out of bounds, he planted his foot, got those shoulders turned, as I continuously talk about, was able to get 3 yards where that could have easily went for a loss or no gain. But he was able to realize that he wasn't going to be able to run everybody to the outside. Instead of stringing it out just to the sidelines, he planted his foot, got those shoulders parallel, 3-yard gain, put yourself in a position of 2nd and 7.
And Harding's going to use his first time out of the half. Talk over the 2nd down and 7 play. Just 10:03, just outside 10 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, excellent night. The weather's perfect. Couldn't ask for a better scenario here at Mollenkopf Stadium under the lights. Beautiful night for football. Excellent game between these two programs. Coming down to 10 minutes left in the game, 3-point game. We really couldn't ask for more.
I'll send a shout out to some of my colleagues over at Harding, the teaching staff. Under normal circumstances, they'd be down here to our left, a whole big group of them. I know they're at home watching the ball game, so good evening to my friends from Harding High School over there. Hope you're enjoying the ball game and help us get our Raiders home, bring this victory home here. We got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, not over yet.
7. Harding, 2nd down and 7, 10:03 to play, down 24-21.
Ursuline at 4-3, 2 safeties high.
Taylor, a pass is complete over here on the sideline. And that is Davion Burgess for the 1st down at the 45-yard line of Youngstown Ursuline.
I watched the Austintown game, and I watched Taylor make about a 15-yard out throw. I watched that throw there. Those are big time throws at this level. That's a big time arm with accuracy. You get the wrong quarterback back there trying to make that throw, that's a pick 6. Elijah Taylor is proven, over the years. He's got the vision, but he's also got the arm. That is a big-time throw at this level.
That's Dorsey going up there wide right. We have Foster down here on this sideline. That pass is complete over the center. Looks like could be Davion Burgess once again for about 4 yards.
I like what I'm seeing on this drive. I like them working the ball over the field. I really like those over the middle passes. Makes those linebackers and safeties kind of got to stay at home. Opens up the run game. Every play should lead to the next play. Nothing should be, germane or isolated to itself. Every play should open up another play. You keep on working the middle like that, that makes those linebackers, instead of their first step being forward, their first step starts being backwards. That just gives that offensive line, those running backs, more room to establish that run. Get yourself those 4 or 5 yard gains. Put yourself in the position of 2nd and shorts or 3rd and shorts. Opens up the playbook tremendously for the offense.
And it looks like Matt Reardon down, looks like a cramp back there in the secondary for Ursuline. They're stretching out the leg. Finally get a little bit of warm weather and we see the first heat cramp of the evening.
Yeah, that's probably the most normal thing about this 2020 season is that you get a warm game, you start to see the kids cramp up. You always hate to see a kid go down, but when you see the trainers go out there and they start, pushing those toes back like that to work out those calf cramps, makes you feel a little better. He's going to go over there, get him some pickle juice, a couple bananas. He'll be back in a couple plays.
We talk about Elijah Taylor, and I'll say this: I having seen him in the classroom. This young man works as hard in the classroom as he does out in the ball field. He's a gentleman of the first degree. I see him a couple days a week in my class, and a nicer young man you're just not going to meet. So when you talk about a leader, he's got humility. He's a hard worker. This is definitely a young man that the players around him are going to put their confidence in and follow him down the field.
And I'm sure him, and I see his parents down there sitting in the stands, I'm sure they could appreciate that. And the coaching staff, knowing Steve Arnold the way I do, they're trying to produce student athletes. And Elijah Taylor, obviously, a poster child for that.
Taylor gets the pass off. He's a little bit rushed there, trying to hit Davion Burgess over the middle. That pass falls incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 6.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they're still in. I think they're in 4-down territory here. I think Coach Arnold's going to go for it here.
I don't see the punting unit coming on, so I think they're going to try to go for this 1st down. And if they don't make it, they're going to put their faith in that defense, which had a nice stand on the last Ursuline possession.
Now realize, what Harding does, notorious for going out of that shotgun. They've got Elijah Taylor back there as their quarterback. Don't be surprised if you don't see a quick kick here.
Foster down here on the near sideline, and that's who he's looking for. And just a little bit too tall for Dom Foster, and Harding's going to turn the ball over on downs. Ursuline's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Still 8:37 to play, and once again, this game falls into the hands of the Harding defense.
Yeah, a little too high there, maybe a little too much on that. Want a little bit of touch on that. Give your receiver the opportunity to make a play. But once again, going to ask for that Harding defense to come up with a stop to keep it a 3-point game with a little under 9 minutes left.
Well, actually, that was only 3rd down. I thought they had the marker wrong over there, so I thought it was 4th down. So Harding gets a chance to punt it away. Taylor with a nice-looking punt over here. A little bit out of bounds, a little bit too soon.
See where they spot that.
They're going to bring that out to probably right around, 20-yard line. You could have kept that in bounds a hair longer. You had, looks like you had a defender down there.
This is one of the reasons. Sorry to interrupt, Tom.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I didn't question the idea that Coach Arnold and the Raiders might have went for it there. That's going to end up being about a 15, 20-yard punt. You've got the players. The defense has been performing for the most part tonight. I could have easily seen where Coach Arnold would have taken that chance there. Maybe a penalty, maybe pass interference, maybe a defensive holding, or just the opportunity to get one of your playmakers one-on-one with one of these Ursuline defenders to pick up that 6 yards.
First down and 10, Ursuline at their own 20-yard line. 8:30 to play in the ball game. And there's the handoff up the middle. We'll see if that was McElroy or Walker there, but it was Walker, and no gain on the play. Maybe a half yard. They're going to call that 2nd down and 9 coming up.
That was big Sam Walden being a problem. Drawing the double team, shedding his blocker, able to get a big paw on that running back to slow him down. Defense came in behind him to hold the running back to a gain of 1.
Shannon looking to pass, and again looking for Matt Reardon. Reardon with a low catch, breaks 1 tackle, gets out to about the 28-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and very short, just short of the 1st down.
It's going to bring that to a 3rd and 1 here. Ursuline quick back up to the line, looking over to the sideline for the play.
If Hardy can get a stop here, I don't think Ursuline's going to take a chance down there. So
not this deep.
Big stop.
Watch this out of the backfield quick.
Shannon keeps it, and Shannon's going to go down to the backfield. A big loss, big play for that Harding defense. 4th and long.
Once again, if we can get a replay here, I think that started in the middle. Once again, big Sam Walden disrupted the play, made the quarterback couldn't take the route he wanted. All of a sudden, you got 4, 5, 6 black helmets rushing to the ball. Exactly what you want to see on defense. 4th and 4, going to give the Harding offense another opportunity with 7 minutes to go, down 3 here in the 4th.
Huge defensive stand for Warren Harding right there, and Ursuline's forced to punt.
I'm telling you, he's hard to miss. He's a big man in the middle, but I think that's where this defense started. If Sam Walton can be a problem in the middle, as you saw him on those last 2 plays, it opens up the defense.
And Reardon gets off a punt with a little bit of a bounce, gets it down here inside the Harding 30-yard line. So Harding's going to get the ball 1st down and 10 at their own 27. 6:33 to go in the ball game. Plenty of time left. Harding still with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, plenty of time here. You've got your 2 timeouts. Discipline, penalties. This is where you get in the 4th quarter. You're in the 2nd half of the 4th quarter. You got some of these guys that go both ways. This is where you start getting tired. You start getting tired, your feet stop moving. Your feet stop moving, you start reaching and grabbing, you start getting holding penalties. This is what the offseason is all about, is for this time right here. Down 3, 6 minutes left to go. Who has it? Who worked harder in the offseason?
Taylor under center in that I formation. Powell is the deep back. Marion Perkins the man in motion. And the handoff is to Powell up the middle. Powell is met the line, and Powell drives that pile forward once again. Gets about 4 yards off that play. 5 yards.
And once again, you keep your legs turned, you keep moving forward. Powell, obviously, with his short stature, can hide in behind some of those offensive linemen until he gets to the that linebacker level, able to put himself at hey, we'll take 5 yards of play every time.
You got plenty of time for it, plenty of time for that. Set up in that I formation once again. Powell again, the deep back. Perkins once again in motion. And again, this time coming back around this side. Little end around to Perkins. Perkins picks up 3 or 4. He's going to make a 3rd down and about 1. Gets it out to the 36-yard line.
I like to see that little wrinkle there, reverse. Try to see if you can catch that defense cheating over to the left side. Had one of the linebackers or safeties, ended up staying at home, able to stop that for a shorter gain, but puts him in great position for 3rd and 1. With the 5:25 left, I think you're still going to punt at this point because you got your 2 timeouts, but you hope you get the 1st down, not have to worry about it.
This time the handoff to Marco Paterno, the up back.
He's got it.
And I think his progress got him into the 1st down. Yes, out to the 44-yard line. It's a 1st down, Harding with 5:09 to play.
Keep this clock moving. Keep those chains moving.
39-yard line, excuse me. 1st and 10 at the 39. Paterno driving ahead to pick up that 1st down. Clock ticking at 5 minutes left to play in the ball game.
Looks like we got an equipment maybe.
Equipment timeout, one of the linemen.
Find out what's wrong.
that was DeVell Trimble that had to come out. But now, if I'm not wrong, he was the center. We'll see if they're putting in a backup center right now to handle this shotgun play on 1st and 10.
Looks like Taylor's going to stay under center. They're going to stay in that I formation. Well, they've been picking up yardage with it. They got plenty of time. They can keep the ball on the ground as long as they're picking up yards. Little trip there, but he does get the ball to Powell. Powell around the end. Powell's got some running room, and Powell all the way down to the Ursuline 40-yard line.
Keep those legs moving, hit the outside there. Look at the yards after contact.
1st and 10, Harding at the Youngstown Ursuline 40.
He got an arm tackle. He had somebody diving at his legs. Refused to go down. Great sign from a running back.
Harding stays in the I formation with Bryson Powell as the deep back. 1st and 10, coming up on 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Perkins in motion. This time again to the up back, Marco Paterno. And Paterno pulls ahead for about 4 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and 6. Gets it down to the Ursuline 36-yard line.
Yeah, we'll take that. Keep the ball on the ground. Keep grinding this clock down. 35-yard line. You still got your 2 timeouts left. Start to get these linebackers. Start to get these safeties. Start to get these corners to start looking in the backfield to try to stop that run. Next thing you know, you got somebody to the outside, the middle. Isaiah's got the ability to hit them. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep this balanced offense moving.
Elijah Taylor staying under center. And they hand off again to Powell. Powell looking for room around that right side. Powell gets a few yards. The ball's loose.
He's down.
And they are calling him down. Ursuline thought they had the ball. The officials are ruling it down. It's 3rd down and 5.
Cut that ball in. I saw him. You could see him to the, to that far side there. He hit the outside, had a little bit of contact. He was trying to stretch forward, but you got to keep that ball tucked in. Keep it against your ribs there. Ursuline's going to be looking to strip that ball.
And if we weren't in 4-down territory a couple minutes ago, we certainly are now with 2:45 to play. It's 3rd down and 5. Harding has the ball at the Ursuline 35-yard line.
Yes.
2.5 minutes to go in this contest.
And that's the positive thing of having a 3-year starter. Your quarterback should know that. He knows he doesn't need it all here. He just needs to make it manageable on 4th down.
He's got one-on-one, he's got Jabari Felton. Felton makes the catch at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, Harding.
Great one-on-one. That's an isolation. I think they only had one receiver out there in the pattern. He comes around kind of on that bootleg. Got the safety and linebacker beat, puts it on the spot. Harding in great position with 2:21 left here inside their own 20-yard line to take control of this ball game and take the lead.
Let me check that last play. That was number 40, Quincy Brown, on that reception. Quincy Brown with that 1st down catch at the 14-yard line. The handoff again to Powell. Powell with some room around the end, inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
Keep that clock going. You got a lot of time right now. You're obviously in field goal range for the young freshman kicker, Jake Doherty. You're obviously in position for him right now, so you just want ball control. Don't stop the clock. If you're a receiver, stay in bounds. Make Ursuline start burning some of those timeouts right now. Make them start thinking about their next possession. Burn those timeouts. You're in position to take the lead or you're in position to tie the game. One way or the other. Keep this clock moving.
2nd down and 3. Ursuline 8-yard line. Paterno powering inside the 5. He gets that down to about the 4.
Looks like they're still in position to get a 1st down here.
And Ursuline is going to use a timeout to stop the clock to try to save some time.
Now keep on pounding them. This 3rd and 1. You've got this momentum right here. You talk to the offensive line. We want another 1st down here. We want to make Ursuline burn that last timeout. Give us 3 shots at that end zone from inside that 5-yard line.
And for the 2nd week in a row, Warren Harding finds themselves deep in the opponent's territory with 1.5 minutes to play inside the 10-yard line, trying to get that go-ahead score.
Yeah, Ursuline, good year this year. They're 3-1. I think their loss was to a good team out of Austintown. I believe Austintown's undefeated.
That's possible. I would
believe
have to look
I think
on
they
that,
had
yeah.
a tough time against Cheney in the first half, but they were able to come back and win that game. But that's Ursuline's only loss. So this is a big game for Harding. You know, we don't put a lot into moral victories, but you know, at this level, we give a lot of credit to the kids last week. Staying in that game against Fitch. Give a lot of credit to the kids and the coaching staff this week for keeping in it, clawing their way back, finding themselves in a position to win this game or tie it with 1:34 left here in the fourth quarter.
Ball's at the 5-yard line.
3rd down and 1. Harding with the ball at Ursuline's 5-yard line. Bryson Powell in that deep back position once again. And the handoff is to Paterno. Paterno pulls ahead. He's awful close. It all depends on the spot. Looks like he's going to be inches short.
See if they call out for a measure. It'll be interesting. Kicker's missed one tonight. He hit that upright.
And
this is about 1 yard, you know, longer than an extra point.
And it looks like they're gonna bring the chains out and check this one out now.
That's gonna give the coaching staff some time to think about this. Like I said, I go back. I got full faith in the kicker, but I'm trying to send a message to my team right now. If you're 4th and 1, if you're 4th and inches, I think you get behind them that offensive line. You put the ball in the hand of your best playmaker, and you tell them to go make the play happen.
Hard to tell from here. It is awful close. If he makes this first down, it is going to be just by the nose of the football.
Well, we can't forget, too. I mean, Elijah Taylor's got a big body as well. You know, we talked earlier in the game. This year you saw more under center plays happening where the pass. I mean, I think it was almost 100% shotgun. You put Elijah Taylor under there, gooses that center. If all he needs is a couple inches.
And that looks to be the case. Just a few inches.
If I'm a bet man, I think Coach Arnold's going to send the offense back on the field. I think he's going to try to win this game right here.
I think you're in it to win it right now. Well, you got Taylor back there. You got Paterno, who's a big bruising runner, and even though Powell is kind of small in stature, that young man has just been he's been tough to bring down.
And remember, Delmar McLennan, we haven't seen him since the first half. I think he put the ball on the ground, and we haven't seen him since then.
I think that might be McMillan in there right now in that deep back position.
Yeah, a little bit bigger body, a couple more pounds to him. But I think you could just give the ball to Elijah Taylor, let him push forward.
And that's what they're doing, and he's got it.
Down.
Elijah Taylor with the quarterback keeper on 4th and inches, and he gets the first down. 1st and goal, Raiders.
Now that clock's going to stop at 1:01, but as soon as they get it set, it's going to start again. You want to keep that timeout. Well, they got 2 timeouts, so they're in very good position to be able to stop the clock if they need to get Jake Doherty out on the field, and if need be, to kick that field goal to tie.
I didn't think it was that close, but they're calling for another measurement. Looks to me like he's inside the 4-yard line. I don't.
Well, when we saw what they were saying he needed to get, you saw that push forward. I didn't think it was even close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Oops,
well,
he's
got to stretch it
out. Just barely. He's got it by about a half a football down there. And it's official. It is 1st and goal, Raiders at the Ursuline 4-yard line. 1:01 to play. Raiders down by 3, 24-21. 2 timeouts for the Raiders. Ursuline has 1. I don't think the Raiders are too interested in using their timeouts right now. The clock is ticking. Inside a minute to play. Hand out to Paterno. Paterno around the corner. Paterno powers it in. Touchdown, Raiders! And Harding takes the lead with 45 seconds to play.
Great play. Gave it to the up back there. playing full back. He was able to take that first contact, as you see, and just drag him into the end zone. It was a matter of will. He had the will. He got in there. 45 seconds left to go. Harding's going to look to go up 3 here on the right foot of Jake Doherty. Great drive, great character by this team.
This becomes a pretty important extra point right here.
Oh, absolutely. This is the difference between a touchdown and a field goal to win the game.
Doherty's kick, and Doherty's kick is good.
That's good.
And the Raiders take a 4-point lead, 45 seconds. We have a flag on the field.
I couldn't tell if they ran into him, but they're running up the field, so it doesn't look like they're going to call a hold. They're going to add that, I assume, onto the kick. 45 seconds. Big play here. Big play on the kickoff. You have to maintain your lanes. Do not get caught up and run into the ball. They'll suck you in so they can beat you to the outside. You have to maintain your lanes. You've got 45 seconds here. You have to make the tackle. The coaches are probably talking to him about some kind of squibble type of kick to put this down the middle of the field, put it on the ground. Don't want them to field it cleanly. You want them to think about it, but the bottom line is the kick team has to maintain their lanes. Do not break your lanes. Get down there, make that play. The defense, corners, safeties, I don't care if it's cover 2, cover 3, stay back. Nothing gets behind you. Get some pressure by those front 4. Don't give them the time to wind up and throw that deep pass, but safeties have to keep everything in front of them. Safeties and corners have to keep everything in front of them.
You know, Ed, you talked earlier in the year, I think probably like a Mooney game, you talked about a statement drive, and that was a statement drive. That was smash mouth football for Harding. They ran it right down the field. They didn't, I think Elijah Taylor had every play under center in the I formation, and that was just power football on that drive.
Absolutely, Tom, and you know, this game isn't over yet, but drives like that are what give your team character. It's what gives them confidence going forward to the next game. There was nothing trickery. There was no play action. That was, we're coming at you. You know what we're doing. You can't stop us. That offensive line stepped up. Those running backs stepped up, gave Harding the lead.
Looks like Dilworth is going to field that at about the 14-yard line. He gets around the end, doesn't make it back to 20, so there's some excellent coverage by that Harding kick team. Keeps him inside the 20. It's going to be Ursuline football, first down and 10 at about their own 19-yard line. 37 seconds to play. Ursuline's got one timeout, and you got to keep your eyes on number 8.
Number 8, it starts and ends with him. Once again, you want to get that pressure, but look, you don't need deep shots. Ursuline's got some athletes too. Those screens have been working out well. They get a blocker out there. They get one of their specialty players with some speed and a little bit of agility. He could take that screen pass for 80 yards.
And a whistle.
Ball start or encroachment?
That's encroachment. So Harding gives him 5 yards out of the gate. That's not what you want to see happen.
Especially something like this, because when they blow it off the whistle like that, you didn't see anybody jump.
Just
at
lined
least from
up.
what I saw. He's lined
up.
He's lined up. That's the second time we've seen somebody lined up in the neutral zone. Mental.
And this small COVID-reduced crowd trying to get vocal, spur this defense on. That brings up a first down and 5. That moves the ball out to the 24-yard line.
You've got these trips
and
out here.
We have some issues with the scoreboard. Now we're back on full power. 36 seconds to play.
Trips to the near side. Look like they've got themselves in a 5 nickel defense here. Keep those safeties back. Nothing gets deeper. You keep everything in front of you. Make the tackle. Keep them in bounds.
37 seconds of play. Shannon back, and the only person he's looking for is Matt Reardon, and good defensive coverage over there to knock that ball down. That was Marquand Brown over there breaking up that pass, bringing up a second down and 5.
Corners understand they're trying to work the sideline. Watch those breaks on a double move. That's why you need pressure by the front 4.
And Shannon's going to go down the backfield. A huge sack for that Raider defense with 27 seconds to play.
That's what we talked about. Get that pressure by the front four. Don't let that, you see he drops back. You see the front four providing the pressure. Not enough time for him, able to take him down, force Ursuline to use that last timeout. But by being able to get that pressure with just your front four, it changes the whole dynamics of your defense back there. Corners got to know. They're trying to work the sidelines. But once again, be careful biting on those out routes, because without that pressure, he's got time for the double move and a wide open receiver downfield. But 27 seconds left. 3rd and 10. No timeouts for Ursuline. Defense, stay back, get the pressure, play this last 27 seconds. Hey, you get to go relax after this. Everything you got. These last 27 seconds right here, come out of here with a big victory.
That moves the ball all the way back to the original line of scrimmage for this possession. Makes it 3rd down and 10. Ursuline at their own 19-yard line. They are out of timeouts. There's 27 seconds to play.
Now you know they're going to go for it on 4th.
Absolutely.
So watch some stuff underneath here. Try to give themselves a 4th and more manageable.
And Shannon looking over there for Reardon. He overthrows him. That brings up a 4th down and 10. And here could be the ball game right here.
Absolutely. Still trying to work the sidelines. You see he likes his receiver there to the left-hand side. A lot of cushion being given up here. You're 1, 2, 3, 4.
22 seconds to play. 4th down and 10. Ursuline, their own 19-yard line.
4 DBs dropping back in what looks like
Shannon.
to be a zone. He's got time.
And Shannon's going to go down again inside the 10-yard line. It's Harding ball with 16 seconds to play.
Took a chance, took one of those middle linebackers, blitzed them. They weren't ready for it. Didn't give the quarterback the time that he wanted. Great defensive stand to put this game, which should be on ice, with 16 seconds left. Defense steps up again. Offense came through, was able to put the points on the board. The defense came through in the second half, was able to keep that Ursuline offense pretty much under control. I think just for one score in the second half, 28-24. Amazing, amazing high school football game here tonight at Mollenkopf Stadium.
And a little bit of redemption for those Harding Raiders. They came so close last week late in the ball game. Had a couple passes fall incomplete to turn it over on downs to Fitch. And now it's Harding's turn to go into that victory formation with 16 seconds left on the clock.
You know, not a lot to be said about moral victories, but what they did last week in Austintown, showing the character to stay in that game, to continue to fight. I think things like that lead into games like this, and at the end, when you really need to come together as a team, really grit down and do what you need to do. You saw in the end the defense came up where they needed to. Front four were able to get pressure. Offensive line was able to give Elijah Taylor and those running backs time to be able to find those holes. Just an excellent overall team performance. Couldn't be more proud of this Warren Harding Raider football team tonight.
And the clock ticks down. That's your final score. Harding has come back to beat the Youngstown Ursuline Irish 28-24. Harding improves to 2-3 on the season, and the Irish drop to 3-2. We'll be back here next week. Harding plays host to another Fighting Irish team. Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's comes to town. We'll wrap up our regular season.
Yeah, congratulations as well. Well played game by the Ursuline Fighting Irish. They came in here, they gave Harding everything they could handle. Wish them the best of luck moving forward. They showed why they have the record they do, and they've compiled the wins that they have. We wish them luck going on for the rest of the season. Great building block off of that tough loss last week to a very good Austintown Fitch team. But for Harding to be able to bounce back this week in a very tight game, offensive side and defensive side of the ball, a lot of fourth downs on both sides of the ball, showed a lot of character, being able to really hold true and just show the willingness, the will to win. That's what I take out of this game. It's the will to win. They found themselves down early, unfortunate turnovers down in your own red zone, fumbles, but they are able to overcome those. At the end of the game, they were able to do what they needed to do to pull out a win, 24-28, something to build off of going forward next week into that St. Vincent's game.
Well, Raider Nation, we hope you enjoyed that. That was a heck of a ball game to watch. Eddie and I were absolutely thrilled to bring it to you. It was fun for us. Great win for those Raiders to end up this last weekend in September. And again, next weekend, St. Vincent St. Mary's comes to town, and we will wrap up our broadcast because the playoffs start right after that. And again, a lot of thanks to Fred Whitaker, Frank Bozak, and his crew of amazing students who helped to bring this to you. I've said it before, Eddie. They make us look good. We just have to show up.
No, absolutely. I mean, you see how this has progressed from when we started 3-4 years ago. You know, the graphics that they show. I see we've got some drone coverage. You know, we've got the replays here, but. You know, I know Fred and Frank. I know why they do it, and they do it for these kids that are standing next to us to give them the opportunity to get interested, to learn some of the ins and outs of what we do, of what happens here in the production. But you know, it's tough. I've said it several times. It's tough, but what the opportunity that WSCN brings. Not only to these players, but to the city and people, honestly, worldwide, to be able to cheer on these young people. And, you know, you and I think we're like kids here, you know, just excited as all get out to be able to be a part of this and to bring these games to you on Friday nights here at Mollenkopf Stadium.
I can't thank Fred and Frank enough for letting you and I come up here and do this, because it truly is a pleasure to do that. And then every now and again we get This was a classic. This was a classic ball game, and this is what it's all about. This is fun to do. Boy, I tell you what, gets my juices flowing, even though it's been 40 years since I've been down on that field.
I laugh. Fred texts me every week and says, "Hey, do you want to do the game this week?" And I just laugh. Like, even if you told me no, I'm going to still show up and make you tell me no again. I mean, it's like an old ball player like yourself and myself. You know, we don't get to strap them up anymore, but we get to come out here, and it's an honor to be able to be a part of WSCN and the great storied program of Warren Harding football. To be able to be a small piece of that, you know, for the time that we can do it is truly an honor to be able to be part of this. So thank everybody involved. Thank everybody that tunes in. And congratulations to the team, the players, WSCN, and we look forward to next week.
And that's going to do it for us from Mollenkopf Stadium tonight. So, again, hope you were here. If you weren't here this time, fortunately, it's out there on YouTube. You'll be able to catch it later. But if you missed it live, you missed a good one. Once again, your final from Mollenkopf tonight, Warren Harding Raiders 28, the Irish of Youngstown Ursuline 24. And we will see you next week. Eddie, have a great weekend, my man.
You as well. See you next week.